Many people without any sound. Hello, Rangel. Parabump, 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 parabump. Let's get rid of that noise first. Hey, Jack. You're waiting for telling
How
your
you
story.
going? What, you want me to tell a story?
No, no, no. I
Hello,
said
hello,
you're waiting for telling the
Hello.
story.
hello.
Hello, 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 hello,
How are
hello.
you guys?
Bro, what the agnostic atheist mean?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know about that.
Why do you think that the question came to you, man?
Could you please repeat again?
No, we're not repeating.
Agnostic atheist, what does it mean?
He really
Yeah,
wants to
come, come.
answer. Wow.
Could you please repeat again? Yeah. बोल सकते कुछ repeat
Okay.
करो.
Wait a sec.
जगदल जगदल.
Jatin Kumar, you're the one who's asking the question, right?
Yes, bro. Yes,
I will help you. Wait a second.
yes.
We should get rid of the noise first. Yes, now I
Okay,
can
okay.
answer. So agnostic atheist means it's a person who doesn't know whether God exists or not, and at the same time doesn't believe a God exists.
Okay. So is there any difference between an atheist and an agonist atheist?
Agnostic atheist.
Matlab, what does
They're
agnostic
if you
means?
think them that they're different, right? Agnostic means the person who doesn't know whether God exists or not. But atheist means a person who doesn't believe a God exists.
Okay, okay. I understand. I got you, bro. But
Okay.
why do you think so?
Oops. Sorry, come again? You were breaking a little bit. I think you're still breaking. I hope it's not my internet.
No, no. Okay,
I have a
okay. So I
question.
was
Why you
asking
make
that. Can you
these kind
explain me?
of
I mean,
rooms? You
why
should
did you
ask
come on this? That
questions. You should ask questions about what?
I was asking that. I
Uh,
was asking that. Can you explain me why did you come at this point to be an agnostic atheist?
Oh, because I don't have good evidence to believe a God exists anymore. That's how I came to that point.
Hmm. But do you believe God in physical form? I mean,
Sorry, come again?
you are said that you don't know where does he exist, but um, I'm asking that are you finding? Like you said that you don't know where does he live. So are you finding him in physical form?
Finding what?
Which I can't understand him. What's he
Yeah, that
saying?
this is probably he
God.
wants to say, "Are you looking for?" I think he's using the verb in the wrong way. He's using the wrong verb. I
Ah,
think.
okay. Oh,
You
sorry.
mean I'm searching? That's what you
Okay.
mean.
Hmm. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Yeah,
okay. Now
you
you should.
said that you don't know where does God exist. Okay.
I said whether God exists or not. I don't know.
Huh. So are you looking for him in materialistic world or in physical form?
I don't have to look for. If there's a God, He can also find me, right? I can pray right now, and I think He can find me, right?
Okay.
And it's not that much important where
Okay,
He is.
bro. Okay.
He's material or not. Those are not necessary points, I think. King of the Hell. You think you
I got
came
you.
to life by chance. I don't think it was by chance. My father and mother decided to have a sex and they decided to not use condom.
Yeah.
That's how I came to this life. And I don't think it was a
I
chance.
think I think the same, bro. I, I think the same.
Okay. It's a sad story. Yeah, that can be sad story for the people who don't like me. Yeah. I can agree on that. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Ba, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Okay. Yeah. So there was a question. Why do you create these kind of rooms? That was the question. Why you make these kind of rooms? I like these topics. That's why I make these kind of rooms. And plus, I have a YouTube
Mm,
channel, and my YouTube channel is about philosophy, mostly related to these specific topics that I mentioned in the welcome message. So, yeah, that's why.
mm. I come on this platform because I want to improve my English as I live in India, and it's very important in our country to be perfect at least and good at this is language.
Keep coming,
So
keep
my
practicing, you'll improve it.
yeah yeah yeah, bro.
Yeah. And it's better to find rooms that where you like the topic, or maybe you should create rooms, and you should put titles about the things that you like to
Actually,
talk or you're interested
actually,
in.
bro, I am unverified.
You're
I
what?
am unverified. That's why I can't make my own rooms. My
Oh,
account is unverified. That's why I can't make my own rooms. And whenever
uh-huh.
I get a chance to enter any room, I enter just without looking for the topic because many people throw me out or just don't throw me out. That's why
Okay.
whenever I get chance, I enter the room.
Got it, got it. But keep joining the rooms, keep engaging with people, then there will be friends of you.
Yeah, bro.
And there are many people here, as you see. Okay, I mean the existence of human, is it by chance? The existence of humans. I don't know. I don't know. He left. He thinks that probably he thinks that a God exists and God created humans. Such a claim requires a lot of evidence. Okay. Oh fuck. Why the hell? Na, 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 na. Okay. Where are the people?
I think we have no other topic, so I am having to go. Okay, bye, guys. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Thanks for joining me. Man, I believe in God because I'm a Christian and demon. Ghost, that kind of thing exists. Bro. Okay. You believe in God. That doesn't mean there's God. You should know that. You're Christian. That doesn't mean there's God or there are demons or there are ghosts. Your beliefs don't mean anything.
Oh, if demons God, if demon and hello, hello, I can speak. What's
Hello?
happening?
Nothing is happening. Okay, we have lost him. Oh, shit. Eden, Goshik. Hi, bro. Welcome. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum,
Hello,
bum.
mate.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Pretty good, not that bad. Hello.
Hello. Okay. Am I audible or what? I'm not.
Okay. I just
Still, I'm not getting any answer.
yeah. Okay. I'd like to answer a few questions you have asked.
I'd
First of
like,
all,
I would like you to answer the question that I asked, but now I think it's unnecessary. I ask, am I audible? But seemingly I'm audible. But anyway, so what are your other questions?
uh, I think we can have a conversation about the purpose of life. First of all,
The purpose of life.
yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Okay,
The
the
purpose
purpose
of
of
life.
life. When people ask what is the purpose of life, the
Yeah.
question doesn't
Yeah.
sound logical to me because people assume that there must be the purpose of life and they want to learn what's that purpose. But maybe they're wrong. Maybe there's no purpose of life.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Agree with
asking
you.
what is the purpose is a fallacious question.
Yeah.
But if there is any, I don't know what is. What is it? I don't know that.
I believe that yes, life is has no purpose. Life has no meaning. At the end of the day, we are going to die. We are not going to make any progress in this life cycle, I believe. But we cannot live with that mindset why we are living, because it may lead to absolute chaos or something like that. So I think for to lead a disciplined life, for to lead a good life, human have created God, and they attach it with principles. The algorithm to live with, to live by. So
Mhm.
so that the way be they don't do wrong things, which leads to chaos of his life. Um, Maybe this is one of the reason, and another thing, the purpose of life is at least until death they can live the life they want.
They can leave what?
I mean, they can live a good life. No purpose, so we can't hurt ourselves, we can't hurt each other. So until the time arrive, at least human trying to make themselves happy, spreading love like that, I believe. Philosopher don't talk.
Life is complex, but full of opportunities which we should try at least before we die in order to fulfill some of our desired goals. Please give me. I don't understand when you said you will not talk, or I think I'm going blind. Mike. Okay. Take your mic option. Let's see how wise you're gonna use that option. Okay, life is complex. Yes, I can agree on that. Yeah, there are many things that to do. Should we try?
Thank you,
I don't know.
philosopher.
In order to fulfill some of sure, if you have goals, then you should you should live. Yeah, hey man, Scott.
Gossip, gossip.
Yeah, brother, tell me.
Yeah, I want to some question for you.
Ooh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you lieutenant now.
No, I am
I
actually not. Sorry, I can't get it.
your friend lieutenant. I see your picture. So
I
is
understand. I understand.
lieutenant an officer?
No, no, actually, I'm
Okay, yes, because I also inspire in this picture, and because I want to become mm, I correct I want to crack in the
okay.
exam.
I got it. I got it.
Is a National Defense
Keep,
Academy.
keep think.
So yeah, and you also experience. So I should some advice for you. So how to create our discipline and make consistency in every day and
okay. The guy hijacked the room. Let's create another room. People are weird. People are careless. People don't show any respect. They just want to do what they desire without caring about anything, about any other people. That's not cool. Let's see. New room, new people. Okay. Fed. Ooh, fed. Hmm. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Willem Dalem. Fernando. Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. Bum, bum, ba-bum. Bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum. Da-da-da-da-dum. Okay, today I think it will be harder to find people. La la la. Mm, 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 mm. Up, up, up.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I will be better. I think. I hope. How about you?
Oh,
Fine, thanks. Hello, how
Oh,
are you?
I'm doing
yeah.
great. What about you guys?
Fine.
Fuck.
Well, happy to hear that.
Uh,
What were you talking about?
we couldn't start.
Where are you from?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, man. Welcome.
Yes, I can hear you well. I asked,
The topics:
Yeah, you can read the topics, man.
God, atheism,
what?
afterlife, soul.
Don't mind the other careless person here. Just keep breathing.
So you are atheist?
I'm
Yes, it's
agnostic.
written in my profile.
Nice. And
Most of.
you have some reason to don't believe in God?
Yeah, I have.
What is your reasons?
I don't find good evidence for God. That's why I don't believe.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
I believe in God.
Okay, what's your reason to believe in God?
I find evidence.
You find evidence. Okay, it's a good
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. You
Okay.
don't find evidence. I find evidence.
Oh, like when I say I don't find evidence, I said I don't find good evidence. That doesn't mean there's no evidence. But there is a lot of evidence, but they're so poor for me, so weak.
Okay, I can understand.
Okay.
Yes. Hi.
Hey, man, you
Are
should
you are you here?
speak to the mic. No, you shouldn't talk from the other room, man.
Yes, I speak here.
You're speaking from the other room. You should talk to the mic.
Oh, you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see now. I don't see.
Yeah. I believe nature is God. What does that mean? Who is calling? Fuck.
Nature is God to produce life to soil.
Hello.
Hello. No one wants to speak.
Because I've been waiting for nobody's talking. Hello?
Hello, hello.
So, like, how do you guys think about this, like, in our lives?
Sorry, can we?
Does it, like, the fact of believing or not believing in God, how does it affect our life? What do you think about this?
It doesn't
Um,
affect our life in a great extent. We can see the lifestyle of even the believer and non-believer. Those are most extent same.
You're saying same mostly, believing or not
Yeah,
believing. Okay,
yeah. Everything functions same. The
okay,
fear
that's great.
mechanism, the all kind of thing.
Yeah. And anyone else?
So
I think
is it this?
I also don't know. The owner is not talking.
Owner, can you
uh,
listen?
if you repeat, I can understand.
So, like, we're
I
asking
asked,
your. Okay.
is it live?
Is it what?
Is it live on YouTube?
What does it mean live on YouTube?
Like, you're streaming something or what? Like, everybody's silent, right? So, we
Live,
thought.
live on YouTube means live on YouTube. So how can I explain it further?
So I'm
Okay.
asking, is it really or not?
Oh, do you think I'm lying about that? Why should I lie about that?
So can you just paste the link, because we can see that if it's live, how does it sound?
Okay, if you want to check it, sure you can, but we can find my channel easily. Type Flow Sober, and you'll
Okay.
see that it's live right now.
Okay, great.
Okay, for you to get views, we have to talk something, right?
Okay.
Sitting silent, what?
Sure. When people don't talk, I just change my room so that we can find more speakers. Sometimes people don't
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Sometimes people really talk. Many people talk.
Hmm.
But anyway, so there was a question, and my answer is a little bit different. I think it depends on your life. For example,
Okay.
I was a believer before. Now I'm a non-believer. My life didn't change that much.
Okay.
It's hard to change a lot of habits, your opinions, different things. Yeah, you don't believe a God
Hmm.
exists anymore, but many things are the same for me in my life. No big changes. But for other people, it doesn't have to be the same. And we know that it's not the same. When they
Yeah, yeah.
change their beliefs, their life also changes in a big scale.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
depends
like,
on where you live, how was your life, why did you change your beliefs. It depends on many things.
hmm. Okay. Great. So, like, it didn't affect you in any way in believing or not believing
I
from your
think
personal perspective.
like now I think I am less upset about the life.
Okay. Like, don't
Well,
believing makes you less up.
yeah, well, like for example, like
Hmm.
what I observed didn't change. I see a lot of problems in this life, a lot of problems. Mostly it's about people. And but in the past I was like, hey God, like, well, why you're not stopping that? And I was just hoping that this will be over and those people will be, getting what they deserve. And that was giving me hope, but that was not enough for me. Still, it was so
Mhm.
irritating to live with those people. But right now, I don't believe a God exists. And I believe that I tend to think that all these things are just, happening the way that they are. No one cares and no
Mhm.
one will care about what's going on. So why should I worry, or why should I be upset more? Or why should I have hope always? No, I don't have hope. I just accept the things the way that they are. And I
Okay.
focus on changing things in my life. And I do it more eagerly because I don't believe that for the problems that I am having right now. I don't believe in that. So that gives me more and hard work to solve the problems that I have, because there won't be a God to solve these problems. Most likely, there won't be
Yeah.
a God. So, and in my life, yeah, I think it's a positive thing for me. But again, for other people, it's different. I listen their stories. When they stop believing in God, they feel
Yeah.
more lonely.
Miracles happen.
Yes, and that they feel like uh, everything is meaningless for them. So because God is the only thing that gives them meaning, and when they lose the belief in God, they lose the belief in all those things, and that's really, really um troubling for them, and it's really bad for their lives.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for them, and I suggest believers who are having problems in their lives, maybe they should stick to their beliefs. Maybe they shouldn't question the existence of God. Maybe they should keep like that, because
Mhm.
it may be the only thing that it gives them, let's say, power, to keep up. And when they lose it, they lose everything. That's not good for them.
Okay.
Yeah, but it can be
So
different for other people also. Again, like people see things in a different way, right? For example, people may be really upset about the things that I mentioned or I didn't mention, but like the way that I see. So thinking that there's no God can
Mhm.
affect, yeah, like their mindset in a positive way. They can say, okay, so probably like there's no such a God, because for some people it's really hard to explain why there's too much suffering, why kids are
Mhm.
dying in wars, why like people are being tortured, and people are not able to explain that even when they believe a God exists, because they don't understand why God doesn't stop it. Yeah, like they're being told that it's a test, but they cannot accept that. Their mind that it cannot accept that. So,
um,
but when they stop believing in God, they say, okay, this is just natural life. It's just wild life. It's very animalistic. And they just see that and they accept that in this way. And it becomes more understandable.
I think others want to say something. Should I allow them?
His mic is on. So,
as you said many things, asking question to God that why doesn't it stop and many things. So I would say that the pathway of belief is different. Maybe you are coming from the society, maybe West, where either Christianity or Islam would be following. So the belief, asking things to God, all are so different from the Eastern side. The religion, the belief, the God, and all those things are very different. It has a different pathway. And the way you said that doing good things in your life, trying to make your things better by your own effort, these things are the part of the religion. I would not call it strictly a religion, but this is what in the Eastern side we have. So the line of believing, not believing, it just fade away when you come to the Eastern philosophy.
And
Yeah, and what? First, you should assimilate this.
okay, belief fades when you go to Eastern culture.
Yeah, the belief fades. They are just in the beingness, just a being.
Just in the beingness. What does that mean?
Beingness means just the reflectivity.
I don't understand that either.
Reflective. Okay, you should search this word, the
No, I'm
reflectivity.
not gonna search. Maybe you should explain that.
Okay, 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 never mind. So, what do you think
Okay, the
about? Okay, can continue.
okay, wait. But by the way, anyone understand the word reflectivity?
You are the only one who understands, and you are the only one who can explain that.
Okay, yeah. So reflectivity means everything has some existence, and however it is, it is. It is reflecting however it is. So in the Eastern, especially because I'm coming from India and I have been raised with the Indian things. So we are mostly believing in the reflectivity. We are not looking for the gods, even if we are believer, even if we are religious. We are just living things, and this is what reflecting the life only. So the way people talk about the believing God, asking questions to God, it doesn't happen here.
Why again?
I told you it doesn't happen here because people live in the uh, philosophy of reflectivity, just the existence.
Okay, still I don't get what you mean exactly.
You
Yeah,
don't get it because yeah, it would be because doesn't matter if you even go to be atheist or anything, but your brain yourself has been nurtured into some uh, religious background. And doesn't matter however you change your thought process or something, but you cannot change your the subconscious, your DNA, your blood, and the way it reacts. So it would be very difficult for you to understand this. Don't worry.
Very difficult for me to understand that. Or maybe
Yeah,
it's your
exactly.
bad that you're not able to explain something properly, man. Before
Because
accusing
if smart people can
someone,
understand with the simple way, smart people can understand just by some gestures. So
okay,
I can only help
yeah,
you to understand. I cannot
okay.
put something into your mind.
Smart people can also explain things in a simple way.
No one can put something inside of your brain. No one can feel it.
Okay, I think it's going in a different way. So, like, I
It's
want to
going.
ask the question. So, brother, what about your like thoughts on morality and being kind to other people? How do you think about those things?
The question comes to who?
Like morality, like being
The
kind to
question
other
is for
people.
me,
Good.
for me or for him?
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested to hear from you.
Okay. So I think morality is subjective, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe that we just come up with those rules by agreement or by force.
Okay.
And those rules can change based on the culture, based on the environment, based on the time.
Mm.
By the way, my
But
explanation of morality is different. This is not the moralities. Morality comes through the scarcity. When there is the
Through what?
scarcity of resource, people will be not moral. But when there is scarce abundance of resource, people will be moral. If there is only one bread and 10 people, they will fight. If there is enough bread, they will not fight. They will find some kind of solution. So morality come with the scarcity. Like it depends on scarcity, on the
like,
resources.
It
I
depends
would
on
like to
many
think
things.
we have enough resources on Earth, but some got greedy and changed things. So it's not like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
it's
So,
not
said.
okay,
about.
wait.
If you remember, I said
Uh,
it depends on environment, and it depends on the culture, it depends on the time. So it depends on many things. And what he said is only about the environment where there is, lack of, sources. That's one
Yeah.
thing that
If
affects
you
morality, and it's not
study
the
the
only thing.
books on morality, this is considered the resource is considered the biggest factor about morality.
I can't
Yeah,
say
but
that it's
having
a small
resources,
factor. Sure, it's a big factor, but it's not
but
the only
having
factor.
resources doesn't mean everybody will be moral, right?
Yeah, so you must understand that human have the consciousness, and just because the consciousness human would go towards solving the uh, conflicts, because it is we are not animal. So even if there's the resource exists somewhere else, but we don't see it, so whatever is in front of that the animals fight. But because human have consciousness, so they find some ways to reach to the abundant of resource. So you should not forget the consciousness of human of eliminating the conflicts.
You should
Okay.
not also forget the, greediness of the people. People are
Yeah, that's what
greedy.
I'm
There
saying.
can be a lot of sources, and there will be people, and there were people who wanted to own all the sources. So still, there will be fight. There was fight because of those reasons. But anyway, I mean
People
that
are
doesn't
not
mean
greedy.
people are not greedy.
People are,
Like
yeah,
I'm not
people are
saying
not
all
greedy.
people are greedy. No, no, that's not my point actually. Sorry,
Yeah,
I think that.
this is
Like
just a
what I'm
survival
saying is,
mechanism.
Survival
yeah,
mechanism.
that
We call it greedy, man.
just like what I thinking is having resources, enough resources doesn't bring morality. That's what I'm thinking.
No, it can change moral understanding. It doesn't bring morality. It changes
Yeah,
those moral rules. Yeah, you said right.
yeah. Like even these are come up like made up rules from humans. There are some like the basic things like being kind, helping others. What do you think about those things?
Oh, okay. Again, like those can be different, can be understood different. Again, based on the culture, based on the country, based on the time. Like for some societies or in some groups, kindness can be misused by other people, by some
Like example.
bad intentional people. For example, they see someone is so kind, but they see that as a weakness, and they use that. They use those people's kindness, that they can do that. So it doesn't work always. But yeah, in some societies, if you're kind, you can increase the chance to engage with the kind people more. If you're rude, if you're violent, then you can attract violence also. And this is how humans interact mostly, right?
Yeah. By the way, the kindness and being good also derives from the culture, because in the West, where the life was being so difficult in the past because of less agricultural resources, difficult weather, the kindness and being good, all things depends on the need based. It was need driven. So they needed it for good life. But because Eastern, like in Indian subcontinent, we were always prosperous, so it was sufficient based and it was um, choice based being this. So this is why we are more higher on these kind of things. We attach
Higher.
these kindness, being good with the spirituality. Yeah, higher on brain, higher on mind. But in the West,
But
it
I,
was only a need based.
but I think in India also we have enough sinners and more bad people like other countries.
This
There
is
is no
because,
difference.
yeah, this is because for the hundreds of years of practicing those Western thought process, we are
So,
promoting this. So
so,
things
so
have
you're
changed a
saying
lot in.
Yeah, things have changed a lot in thousands of years in
Yeah,
India. If we are talking, if I'm talking, you should go even the behind in history, 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago.
like before the like Western culture influence, all people are good in India. What are you saying?
Exactly, not even good. They were on the apex,
It's
apex
all
of my.
Westerners. They influence the Asian cultures. Shame on
Oh, all
them.
sinners
Yeah.
came. All sinners came from Western side. What are you saying, bro?
So, well, this thing influencing, dominating these things at this moment, we are taking, okay, this is the a good thing in the positive way or something. But this is something just, it is, whatever it is, just a kind of action. So, as he said, that same on us or something. So, same is also just a concept. So, if you not categorize into something good or bad, then we can have a good communication only.
Yeah, and that's why you started by separating the cultures as Western, Eastern from the very beginning.
Yeah, this is the truth. Because the difference in the culture, it exists. It is in the nature.
Yeah, it
But
is.
you are bringing the same, these kind of things. These are totally the literature work, totally the literary work.
I see. I see. I see. Anyway, so look, let's stick to the topics deeper.
Yeah. So, by the way, you have written atheist. So, what
Mhm.
does it mean?
Atheist means the person who doesn't believe a God exists.
And what about the other things that the religion gives to the life, like the learning, many good things? Atheist doesn't believe this
Believe in what exactly?
because in atheist, because in religion it happens that religion tell us many moral things, many good things. Because even before the science education has started, the base of the education was coming from the religious background.
Okay, and
So
that doesn't
what
mean it's coming
about
from God.
those beliefs, those things that,
Okay,
so
like
it does,
peace
do
or
you follow those things or not?
sure, I'm following many of
Does
those
ethic,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean those things are coming from a God. So probably there's no God, and most likely all those rules are coming from humans. So following what our ancestors created is that what we are doing
Hmm.
always. We are just following many of those rules, and we improve sometimes. We change those rules,
Obviously.
but yeah, mostly we just take them like from the birth, and we keep them. We don't change
So,
those rules drastically in our lives. It would be so, you know, hard for us to live with entirely new rules. And again, like as an atheist, it's hard to, create rules based on what? Based on what? It's hard. And then we don't need to do that. We just keep with the rules that we have. And sure, we can like eliminate some rules in our lives. We don't have to follow all the rules, right? Some says that doing this is wrong, and I might think, wait a second, I don't think so. I can go like that. But again, like I don't change all the rules. I don't think about all the rules that I had or I have learned. I don't do that. It's not practical.
mm, okay. Yeah, it happens. And what does the mean agnostic? This
Agnostic
word I'm not very familiar with. Yeah.
agnostic is a person who doesn't know whether any God exists or not.
Okay.
Agnosticism is about not knowing. Atheism is about not believing.
Okay. God. Uh, a kind of God is a kind of concept. Sometimes I just feel that it cannot be even talked. If it cannot be talked, discussed, then how can it be God?
If it cannot be what?
talked or discussed. I meant God is something that I think sometimes it cannot be talked, or it cannot be even interpreted or something, or discussed. So if it can be talked or discussed, then how it can be God?
How it can be God? Why not? It cannot be God if we talk about it.
So what is your definition of God?
My definition, like just as the summary of many religions' definition, like in many religions, God is defined as a super being who created this universe. And yeah, I take that definition. And if there is a creator of this universe, I could call it God. Other properties of that God can be different. I mean, I'm very flex about that. Some suggest
Okay.
that God is all powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, and for me, it's not necessary. Maybe the creator of this universe is not all powerful or is not all knowledgeable, and
Mhm.
if it's not, still it's okay for me, and I could still call it God. But as I said, yeah, many people have problem with that. They say that it's the perfect being. He's all knowing, all powerful, all knowing, and all merciful, and other attributes. If not
Okay.
one of them, it's not a God for them.
So just think that suppose the all religious scriptures, whoever talk about God,
Mm-hmm.
are wrong. Okay, they are not able to explain about the God, but still this universe exists. According to many religious scriptures, not many. Hinduism even calls this earth a billion years old. Even the universe billions and billions years old. But I have heard that in Bible it says that the earth is 6,000 years old. But okay, forget this. So the universe exists, and the life of earth on universe is very new. We are just the some seconds in comparison with 1 year of the universe. Okay, and we have to go even a lot far, and we are in somewhere in the middle. So if we try to understand this universe or something, we feel that we are not even able to understand 1% of it, of this universe. So how could you say that we can discuss, if there's a God who has created this universe, who may have created this universe, we can explain this, we can talk about this, or we can bind it under some words.
Like since we are able to do that, we're discussing about
Since
everything.
you are able to do what?
We're able to discuss. We're discussing right now.
Yeah, but we are able to discuss only those things we needed, only
We
those
need
things
it.
which comes under our concept. And this is what, under this, all the literature, all the language were made. There are
Okay, maybe
hundreds
yeah,
of
maybe
millions of feelings
yeah,
which
yeah.
doesn't even come under any word. You cannot even explain
Okay, okay.
something.
That doesn't mean like. But by the way, like it's not like all about explaining the gods. Okay, and I don't think that mostly religions are caring about that thing. So they have specific definitions of the god, or they mention about the properties of God, but mostly they all say that we cannot comprehend the God, thoroughly. No one claimed that we can explain God in a perfect sense, because God is so great that we cannot even understand. We can only partially understand some bits that God shared with us. That's what people believe
Hmm.
in general. Okay, so there's no claim that we can explain the God in a perfect sense. That's not my claim, and that's not the claim of
So,
believers
okay,
also.
okay. So, as an atheist, you are not following, or you are not into the God of what is explained in the religion, or you are not taking any interest beyond any religion, the God, if there's the God. Because God has nothing to take if it's with the religion. The God is God, if it is. So can you clear it? Like, you are not believing the God in the religion, or you are not believing which may be the creator, which may be the running the world.
As I defined God.
Forget about,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I
But
didn't
you define
mention
the God just according to the religion, just
according to
according
the
to few books.
religions. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have a different definition than the religions that made.
This is why I had told you that even the beginning of my sentence was God is something if which cannot be discussed, which cannot be talked. It was just you who uh, persisted to talk about this.
Oh, we did it, so that means it's possible. So why you're ignoring the part that we were discussing about God? And maybe you don't like to discuss, but I discuss about God all the day. Okay, so that means it's
Doesn't
discussable.
matter. You can all the day. It doesn't matter anything.
It
What maybe
matters. It matters, and about what you said. You're saying that we cannot, but we aren't doing that. We are discussing God. And do you have a different
that is
definition?
just some few words
Having
from
having
those things
having
that you have talked. Only
having
few words from
having
some
having
literature. Okay.
having a definition of God doesn't mean you explain to God. Okay, it's just a definition. A
Yeah, this is
definition
what
doesn't.
you are doing.
Yeah, yeah, and
You think that you have already taught God, you know this, you understand everything,
no
and
one
you
said that
denied
we
it.
understand everything. No one claimed that. Who
You
said that we
you
understand
just did
everything?
it because you are just said that all the day you talk about gods. So why
Yes,
do
that
you do
doesn't
this
mean
if
I
you
know
don't understand?
everything. That doesn't mean I explain everything or I can explain
So
everything.
if you don't know anything, then why don't you try to
I didn't
understand if
say
I'm
I
saying
don't know
something?
anything. Like, why the hell you're twisting my words? You did it 2 times in a minute. Are you doing it intentionally?
Because
Even
this
if
is
you're
what
doing it
you are
intentionally,
speaking.
I don't think that you'll be honest to confess that. But anyway, but it feels to me you're doing it
I
intentionally.
am
That's
only
not good.
talking on the base what you are talking.
No, not on the base of what I am talking. You're just twisting my words. But anyway, I'll just ignore that. Okay. So this is a
Okay.
concept, and God concept comes with the religions. That's how we understand this concept. And that doesn't mean there is a God outside. Okay. But that doesn't mean people don't know anything about this concept. We know a lot of things about this concept. It may be fiction, probably it's fiction, but still, we know a lot of things about this concept, okay? Just because something doesn't exist, that doesn't mean we don't know anything about the concept itself. For example, Captain America is not real, but we know a lot of things about Captain America. It's the same with God. And maybe it's even different. If God is real, then yeah, that still means that we know and we may know a lot of
Wait.
things about this God.
Okay. For your kind information, I would tell you. You said that God is just the concept of religion. Then you have just little idea of this. God is somewhere. Even if I just keep aside the concept of religion, there's the God things. As you said that Captain America is not real, but there's people talk about this. There's the concept. So you cannot deny that the concept of Captain America exists, okay? But there's something deeper.
You cannot
Just
deny the
forget.
concept of God exists
Wait,
also.
let me finish it. Okay. So even this universe is there. We are here. There are the surrounding. Those energy that keeps the world running. Those energy. Like there is something. There is something. Maybe for no reason. Maybe everything is happening without a cause, but there is some kind of relation about the cause and effect. This is whatever it is. In Eastern philosophy, we call it God. The thing that is just running, being itselfness, is the God. Okay. And
Word
when we
salads for
start
me.
believing this, what?
Just word salads for me. Whatever the
Word,
thing is
what?
running the world is God for me. Like that doesn't make any sense, okay?
it doesn't make any sense just because your brain is not open enough to understand this.
Now you're
You are
accusing
just
my
keeping
fucking
yourself,
brain. No, man, you're being
because
so fucking arrogant right now, and I can kick your ass
yeah,
anytime.
because
Okay. So stop,
you
stop,
can
stop,
you can
stop,
just
stop, stop,
maximum thing that you
stop,
can do this.
stop. You did this second time, okay? And the third time will be your kick, okay? So
This is the only thing
you
that
are
you
not the
can do
fucking
here, because
judge who can judge people how open they are, okay? You're not the judge.
yeah, I am, because we
No,
are
you're
talking, then
not.
I can,
You are
because we
not.
are talking
You are
individually.
not. Just because
Judge,
you talk
what do you mean?
nonsense and people don't accept that, you can't say
I
that, oh,
can judge.
you are not open-minded.
Why
I
why
can
why I
talk
cannot
any
judge?
shit right
Do
now,
you think that
and
do
I
you
can
think
talk,
that judge come from
I
heaven?
can talk any shit right
Do you
now.
think
I
I
can
can judge
talk
because
any
you are
shit
just,
right now, and then you don't accept that, and I can say, oh, you're not open-minded. And
oh,
that's
you are
not
muting
useful,
me?
okay? I will
Wow.
kick you even if you
Yeah, why
keep
not?
over-talking me.
Okay, you will kick me. Wow, this is what you can do. You
Sure,
cannot do
that's what I
anything
can
more.
do.
You cannot even hold
Oh,
good talk with me.
you're not doing the good talk by telling people that, oh, you know
Oh,
what, you don't understand what my shit is, therefore you're so close-minded
you're
and you're stupid. That's
you
why you don't understand what I'm saying right
because
now. That's
wait,
what you're doing.
because when it comes the word God, your brain just closed up. It's locked,
No, no,
and
no.
nothing can enter inside of it. Yeah, this is the case. Because
This is not the fucking case. This is your fucking arrogance.
look at
You
your, this
people,
is
Western
your brain
people,
locked up.
this is how you
West,
started your fucking conversation by
yeah, you
discriminating
come from
people.
Western people, so
Yeah,
what should
you're
I
a
call it?
fucking. You think that Western people are
Are you
closed-minded.
not from West?
I'm a
Just tell
fucking
me.
Asian, by the way, but anyway.
You are, yes, but all the things that in your religion,
Bye. Wait, I should kick you. You're wasting a lot of time right now.
even
Fuck off. Why should I listen? Someone who's just saying, oh, you know what? You don't understand what I'm saying, therefore you're close-minded. Oh, just because you have this concept of God, that means you're close-minded. And this is just pure assholeness that people show when people don't accept their shit. You can be more clear about your God concept and how he defined, if you guys remember, whatever the thing is running this fucking universe as my God. Maybe there's nothing running the universe. So nothing is my God. Nothing is my God. It doesn't make any sense, okay? If nothing is running this universe, then it means your God is nothing. This is how he explained his God. This is how he defined his God, which is so useless. That's why I said it's word salad. Whatever the thing is running this universe, it's God for me. Look at the energy around yourself. That's what he said. Mhm, 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 mhm. That's weird. There's 6 people when there's no discussion here. 7. Wow. That's weird. When we're discussing here, there's no one. When we are not discussing, there's 7 people. Oh, sorry, 6 people because it's one of them is my account. Okay, maybe you guys want to join from YouTube. I can share the link if you want. I should recreate the room. Dum, bum, 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 bum. I will recreate the room. Then I will give you the link. Maybe you may want to join. Dun, 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 dun. 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 Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 dun, dun. Okay. Oh, we've lost those people. Well, anyway, I'll send the link. La 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 la. Saddad. Saddad, Saddad. Okay. I'm going blind today. I cannot read names. Okay, if somehow anyone uses the link, can inform me that they came from YouTube. Today we don't have many people, unfortunately. I could have only one discussion with an Indian guy who had a very ambiguous definition of God. Plus, he was accusing me to be close minded. And he was claiming that Eastern people understand these topics better, which sounded so racist to me. Maybe that's why I was annoyed at the first place, but still I wanted to listen to him, whether he was making sense or not. But he kept being nonsense. Bum, bum, bum. Maybe I should refresh the topic. Oops. Okay. One more time. Dun, dun, dun. Dum, ba, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. Rocky, are you there? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. We are getting 0 people today. That's not good. Omaima. Mimi. Ba-ba-bum. Ishraq.
Oh, hey there.
Hey there.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Cool. So,
Did you just came here or like you've been here for like some time? Because I ain't seeing anybody in your room.
oh, I
There's
just created the room, but yeah, I was here for at least 1 hour.
oh,
There are
okay.
not many people for these kind of topics today.
Yeah, I understand. There's not many people who wants to like talk about these,
Not all the
especially
time.
here.
No, sometimes there are many people. It's about the
Do you
time.
roam around? Do you roam around Discord a lot? Because there are lots of people there who
I don't
talks
like
a lot
Discord.
about. You don't like Discord, but
Yeah.
Discord is really awesome. We should go there.
I was there, and I don't like it that much.
Okay. Like there's specific servers for debate and stuff.
I know, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think it's kind of good, maybe. But like they mute you when they cannot argue. That's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's the time in US? Like, is it morning or anything?
Morning, yeah.
Okay. We have another fellow.
Amr. Welcome, Shark. Okay.
He's not.
How are you, brother?
Hey, man. Welcome. He doesn't want to talk to me. Ishraq, maybe you should try. But you should know that
No,
that won't last long because it's my room.
no, I'm a philosopher is a great guy. You should talk to him.
No. You don't know me.
What? I know you, bro.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, thank you then. Hello,
Yeah, you're a
man.
geek. Why not?
Hello, how are you, man?
Hello.
Are you hear me?
You're audible, man. If you hear us, that's good.
So,
Yeah,
is it going to be a debate platform?
discussion.
Because
Yeah.
because you are the owner and you are the agnostic atheist, and there is also Akhi Ayman, and I think he's going to fight against you.
Oh.
It's quite interesting.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm here mostly for discussions, but also for conversations. And topics are clear here.
What is the topic, please?
Oh, you should read the welcome message. There are more important
Okay.
information there.
God, atheism, soul, right?
Yeah, those are the
Okay,
topics.
alternative. Okay, that's good. Interesting topic. Seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, where is my channel? My channel's on YouTube. If you type Philosopher, my nickname, just look at my nickname, you will find it. How many subs? Is it really important? I have 52 subscribers. Is it okay for you?
Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot of subscribers.
Okay. Thanks for
So
appreciating.
are you going to be on live on YouTube?
It says live on YouTube now. If you read the top message.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So wish you all the best. Go through the conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, Ricky Rich, Ricky Rich, whatever. We are trying to choose, at least I am trying to find people who want to talk about any of those topics that you see in my message in the middle. But so far, we couldn't engage, and I hope we can. Yeah, we're just waiting. So, Ishraq, well, what was the previous topics? I mean, sure, it was one of those, but do you remember anything specific from our previous conversation?
We were talking about why do I think there is a God? And I
Why?
said
Mm-hmm.
that and I said that it's like the results. I think the results word will remind you. Like I mentioned it several times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. That was our previous conversation. That why do I think that there is a God and it is Allah? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was my worst answer?
I don't really have a specific one, but considering as my belief, many of our answers are not acceptable as in my personal beliefs. That's why I don't think that there's a bad or even worse one. It's just not acceptable. That's it. By the
Sorry,
way,
come again?
I was curious about one thing that does Christianity allow LGBT?
Oh, you should ask this question to Christians.
I think you research, like I asked them, many of them say yes or many of them say no. I want to ask some neutral one who is neutral.
I think you made a neutral research because if some says yes, it's okay. If some says no, it's not okay. So that means it's okay for some of them. It's not okay for the other.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So
That makes sense a lot.
yeah. Okay, we have other people. Someone was asking the platform on YouTube. I don't know if that guy joined or not.
So, philosopher, do you think Islam radicalizes communities and its people?
Radicalizes communities.
Yes, like let's say, for example, if they run a protest in the UK, is it being radicalized?
I don't know.
So, do you think the term religion in Islam is being like just radicalism and terrorism and shit like that?
Not seen like that anymore. By many people, people change their minds about Islam. Many of them, they understood that it was like a propaganda, and many people just thinks that it's just another religion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the
Something.
traditional way of living.
Yeah, and
Traditional way of living.
w-
I,
what might
I see.
radicalize a religion is not the only religion itself. The other people, other religions, or other beliefs can make that religion. So how they react can also, determines the way that, that religion is seen by other people. So, for example, if I think that you are violent, and if I behave like that towards you, I mean, you can become violent to me because of my false beliefs, right? Or my false approach. It may trigger you. You can react maybe in the same way. So maybe like those people are the ones who are creating radicals in other societies or in other religions.
Yeah, it might be, yes. You're correct. Hmm. Why don't you accept the full term atheism? Why don't you call yourself agnostic atheist?
Because I am agnostic. I think that defines my position better, more clearly. That's why.
Do you find any incorrection in atheism?
Incorrection? What does that mean?
Like there's any mistakes in the terms and policies of atheism?
That there are no policies of atheism. Atheism is only about not believing in God. That's all. But I have some problems with hard atheism, okay? Some hard atheists, that they have the burden of the proof. They can debunk some gods because of their inconsistent, because of the definition of those specific gods, because they're contradictory. That's why they claim that those gods cannot exist. I understand that part. That's reasonable. But when you think broadly about the God concept, people bring up a lot of definition of God which are unfalsifiable, and some atheists, they also claim that those gods also don't exist. And as an agnostic, I can't claim that. And when they claim that, I don't see good reasoning behind that. So that's the only part that I can criticize.
Okay. When did you realize that there is no God and atheism is agnostic atheism
Okay,
is
Ishra.
your own?
So like this question shows that you didn't understand my position.
No. Like in a certain time in your life, you gotta have thoughts, right? You question yourself. Then you
Ishra,
realize, oh,
okay, it's going worse right now because after I stated that, you misunderstood my position. I was expecting you to tell me, okay, what part I misunderstood, but you're not doing that. That's worse for me. So first, you should understand that you misunderstood my position, and I see that from your question because you said that when did you realize that there is no God, and that's false question because I have never realized that there is no God. Never. I hope you're getting my
but
point.
yeah, I know, but you were born as in the atheism family, or you in a different religion back?
That's not important. That's not what I'm talking about. So I don't know whether any God exists or not. So I didn't come to a realization that there is no any God. That's not me, okay? Do you understand this part? So
Yeah.
for me, maybe there is a God, maybe there are two gods, maybe there are multiple many gods, or maybe there is no God. I just don't know the answer. But when you ask me, hey, do you believe that even one God exists? At least one God exists? No, I don't believe. Do you believe in two gods? No, man, no, I don't believe. Do you believe that there is no God? No, I don't believe in that too, because it's hard for me to have those beliefs. To be able to believe that there is no God, I need also convincing evidence, and maybe it's even impossible for me because, as I said, they're unfalsifiable gods, God definitions. So, since I cannot falsify them, for me, but I will be always agnostic about those kind of gods.
But do you think there's a higher power?
I don't believe that there's a higher power.
Okay.
That doesn't mean there's no. Maybe there is, or maybe there are many higher powers out there.
Okay. Another irrelevant question. What do you think the age of consent should be?
Okay.
I said another irrelevant question. What do you think the age of consent should be?
It's very relevant, man.
No, I just want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, it should be 22.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, understand.
Are you agnostic about unicorn because it's unfalsifiable too? I can. I'm less agnostic about the unicorn, but I can be.
Unicorns might existed back then. Who knows?
No, not in that way. I can create a scenario where there are aliens in it, and the aliens just have this advanced technology where they do create unicorns specifically. So maybe they created a world which are full of our fictional characters. Maybe they exist there. And I don't know. This is also unfalsifiable.
Do you believe in the Darwin's theory?
Evolution, you mean? Yes, I believe.
Yeah. That's interesting.
There is no reliable proof of any deities, entities, gods. Yes. I don't find any reliable proof for that also.
Well, many of your argument comes from pro-choice, so I don't really have anything against that, even if that's valid.
Again, sorry.
No, I say many of your arguments are pro-choice. That's why I cannot really come up with anything against that.
Oh, since I don't have big claims about God, so yeah, I cannot be wrong about God since I don't know. So when I say I don't know whether God exists or not, that means if I'm not lying, that means I don't know, right? So if I'm lying, that means I know there is no God, or I know there is a God, which is kind of, doesn't make sense.
Well, you don't actually know if there's God or not, and if you don't actually like confused at both parts. Am I right? Like like if there was a God and if there is not a God, like these two parts works on you.
Either there is a God or there's no God.
Yeah,
That's clear for me.
yeah.
It's pro evidence, not pro choice. What do you mean? SS.
And
What does that mean?
what do you think the purpose of life is?
I don't know. There is the purpose of life. Maybe there is no purpose of life.
So we're just leading to nowhere.
I don't know. Maybe we are leading to somewhere. If there is the purpose of life, that means we are leading to somewhere. Or at least we are
What do you
leading
think?
towards the purpose.
Okay. What do you think? What will happen after we die?
Most likely, our body will decompose in the soil or, maybe in the ocean.
I got the answer yesterday, but like, what do you think will happen with the soul?
I don't believe in soul.
How are you? How are we expressing emotions and stuff like this?
We have emotions, we have brain, we have chemicals, a lot of chemicals. And you even understand right now the relation between the emotions and those hormones. So we can all claim that, they're a result of those chemicals and of our brains. Like a it stops, right? Your body starts working, and so it doesn't create emotions, right? Like imagine like an engine when it stops, it stops emitting heat, right? Or let's say noise.
Yeah. Anything about it? Yeah. Hmm. So, like, if I believe in a religion, in your opinion, will there be any bad thing happening to me?
Depends.
Depends. So let's say I follow all the ideal Islamic uh, stance. Will I
Mm-hmm.
face any trouble?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like imagine that Islam is the false religion and there's another religion, which is the true religion. You think that the God of that religion will be okay with your beliefs? Because
No, you
you
will
you
not.
rejected that religion.
But like I'm asking in your own beliefs as a agnostic
Don't have
atheist.
beliefs about God, about afterlife, so I can't
So
answer
like
that question.
nothing will happen to me.
As I said, it depends.
I already asked you what must it depend on? I need
It
like
depend on the reality. So if the reality is, for example, let's suppose that the reality is where the Jesus is the real God. Okay, you die, and Jesus is waiting for Muslims, and he's asking, why the hell you guys just rejected me as a God? I was a God, and I was also in a human body. I came here, and that was written in the Bible, and you guys all rejected it. You created a religion upon my religion, and you lied about my religion, and you convinced billions of people. Why did you do that? So this could be the case. If this is the case, then things can go really bad for you.
yeah, but do you think if there, what will happen to you, same as happening to me? Like we would face the same case, right?
Sorry, come again?
Like if that's true, we would both face the same case.
Oh, we may not face the same case. So imagine me. I don't claim that there are no gods. I just say I don't know. And I'm waiting for sufficient evidence for me. And I'm very sincere about my beliefs or non beliefs. or about what I ask. So if there will be good evidence, then I can start to believe. And if there won't be, it's either because God wanted it in that way, or either because another reason that I don't know, that I'm not aware of. That means I'm not being in this position like I'm
So
not
like
like
you,
resisting, not to believe that God exists. So if there's a God, if there's good evidence for God, I can believe in it. So this might be something benefit. God is, benign. If he, if this God is merciful, he's also, knowing, knowledgeable, or all knowing. So that means automatically he knows that I was so sincere and I was just waiting for the evidence. And this God may say, "Okay, hey, yeah, I know you. I remember you. Yeah, you were doing like the things that you just found on your way. He's thinking about God, gods, possible gods, and yeah, you're here now. And but look at this guy. He was so arrogant about his beliefs. He was believing that Allah is the right God, and he was rejecting me, rejecting insistfully. So I think there's a huge difference between you and me in that case. Or, or maybe we are on the same boat. Maybe there's a God who doesn't care about, you know, being sincere, and maybe the God, that God will punish us in the same way just because we didn't believe in him. So when it comes to what I said at the beginning, it depends. I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
God exists or not. I don't know how many gods exist. I don't know what kind of God exists if a God exists. So it all depends what kind of a God exists. If there's no God, maybe still there's an afterlife for us. Maybe we have been created by other, creatures in this universe. Maybe they have technology to, bring us back, or you know, transfer our consciousness to machines that can be considered as afterlife also. So no God doesn't mean no afterlife. That's not what I think. So still there can be some sort of afterlife for us if there are other creatures. I don't want to call it God, Richie. So, but because, and like, as I define God, at least by my definition, which people partially can agree, which is the creator of the universe. So those creatures that I mentioned, aliens, that they don't fit under the definition of that God. Sorry,
Yeah, and
Ishraq.
they must, and God must be eternal, right?
Oh, I don't claim that. Also, if there like someone created this universe intentionally eternal, still I can call it God.
Okay, I understand. Mm. Mhm. Where do you think morality comes from? Is it from our common sense? And if it is from our common sense, what is common sense?
Well, I think common sense is generated through our biology, like our interactions, and mostly our, biology. We feel the pain, we feel the pleasure, right? And mostly we feel it in the same way. At least that's what we observe. So, and I think using those features, we just we just come to an agreement, or maybe not even agreement. So, but well, what I claim mostly morality comes from our agreements, or it comes through force. Okay, some powerful people or groups they dictate their desires, and this can be also understood as morality. So, but yeah, mostly agreements, I think, because we value life, right? You don't want to die. I don't want to die. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you believe in. You don't want to die. I don't want to die, right? So, if we value life, then we can say, hey, wait a second. We value life. Don't you think we should protect it because we care about it, right? So then, yeah, we can say, okay, let's protect. How? You shouldn't kill. I shouldn't kill. Then that means we will be alive. So you see, like we can create rules based upon what we desire.
Yes, but there's people with different beliefs that and political issues and power hunger. You
Again,
cannot make up because of it. There's people with different political views and power
mhm,
hungry elites. You
exactly.
cannot make.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, like it's mostly upon agreement, and sometimes it's by force. So if you include politics, so you include power also, right? Powerful people can lead those decisions.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
That's sad. Yes.
So to think about, do you think that the morality that you understand is the same with, morality in Hinduism? Is it the same?
No.
Sorry, your voice is breaking for me. Can you repeat?
Oh, I don't think Hinduism has morality.
They don't have moral rules?
Like, I saw a rule. I don't really know much, but I saw a rule, a
Okay, well,
caste
what about
system.
Christians? Do you think that like you and Christians have the same moral rules?
Well, many of them yes, many of them no.
So they're not identical. So there are differences, right?
Some yes.
Okay, so how it goes, right? Like if those religions and if countries are ruled by the religions itself, okay? Which rules will be, used by those people, those countries? Sure, they will apply their own rules in their countries, but whenever there is a conflict, they will want to apply their own rules, right?
Yeah,
And
most
then,
of the cases.
yeah, and the powerful will win in the end. If the fight will go on, then the people will accept the rules of the powerful ones.
Mr. Ono, sorry for
Yeah.
interruption.
Hey, man.
Yeah, hello. I would
Welcome.
say this guy say like, thank you so much for welcoming me. This guy said like Hinduism didn't have any morals. So for that argument, I would say he didn't know about it. So didn't have to give anything about that idea because we as a Hindu follow few principles including Amisha. You know about it? That means non-violence, Satya. That means truthfulness, and Diya. That means compassion. Including that, we follow karmas. So yeah, we have a lot of morals. Yeah, including our Gita. Gita have a lot of morals. Yeah. We follow including our books and everything. A lot of slokas which tell us the reality of life. Yeah. I didn't say like I'm proving like Hinduism is true or not, but morals is the most important thing for the humans. Yeah. What they are doing, that's matter. Yeah, that's all, guys.
Okay. Well, he was not emphasizing that Hinduism doesn't have. It sounded to me that he doesn't know that. So
Yeah,
it's okay. But thanks for sharing and clarifying. So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was sure that Hindu people have moral rules, but if someone asked me, "Hey, what
Mhm.
are those rules?" I couldn't answer properly. But thanks for
Could
clarifying and
I ask
giving
him a
information.
question? So
Yeah,
could I ask him a question?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Go
ask a
ahead.
question. Sure, go on.
Yeah. What's the most holiest site in like the river you guys take water for religious act?
Just like your Jam Jam butter, we have Ganga.
Yes. Is it feeding to the children?
Ganga, what do you think? Like Ganga is purifying you, really?
See, the condition is that a lot of population we have there, and because of this management, a lot of industries and everything, even though they pass a lot of just like they basically did not treating like a Ganga. The reality is that. But as a Hindu, I would say that's a pure holy river for us. Yeah. But I don't know why the companies and the big businessmen and they treat it like didn't treat a holy river like that. They just use it as a business purpose, and they pollute that river very badly.
I have a question for you. Like, how humans think that cow can be a god?
Yeah. So come again. What you said?
Why do you think? Why do you guys think that a cow can be a god?
Cow can be a
A
goat.
cow.
A
cow
cow.
can
Okay, okay.
cow
The
can be
reality,
a
I
god.
tell you, because yeah, a lot of people say like we eat the urine of cow. It's other bullshit. Okay, usually follow in the villages and everything. The reality is that why we
There's a lot of
follow
videos on it,
cow
by the
as
way.
as our god and everything. The because in our Hinduism, there's written like if you drink a milk of something, like even though it was a goat or a cow. So according to our religion, we didn't consume the female goat and also the cow. It's provided milk for our goats and everything. So that's treated like a mother. Okay. So that's why if you are like if you love your mother, didn't want to kill it. And if some sprinkle of the holy thing, there must be a lot of gods inside the body of a cow, so something like that, yeah, written.
Mhm. I was talking about agnostic atheism, so like if you guys want to talk about it, we could create a different room.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd love to
No,
interrupt in that.
no, I don't wanna. I don't wanna go there,
Can I,
but
can I ask a question? Can I ask a question to Ishraq?
because I just
Ishraq,
heard.
Ishraq,
Okay.
Ishraq. I want to ask you a question.
Okay,
Ishraq,
okay.
there is a hadith, in which Prophet says you can eat camel urine. What do you think about that?
Bring me evidence. Okay, let me see.
See it.
Sahih al-Bukhari,
Yes.
5,608. Okay.
When you were not here in the room, SS, I was asking a question to the listeners on YouTube. Hey, Rocky, are you there?
I created a new account because I
That's
can't access the
clear.
previous one.
But anyway, I was doing the job for you, man. At least you could see one room what's going on there.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's um okay. Al-Bukhari.
Wow,
Mhm.
man, it doesn't even talk about it. Look,
Yeah.
Doesn't talk about it?
look what to talk about. See for yourself.
Okay, why you're
Okay.
spreading
Let me
false
give you
information,
no
SS?
no. Let me give you reference from sunnah.com. I don't know what AI is saying. Wait, let me give you a link. You can read it yourself.
I don't want link. I want
It is
evidence.
sunnah.com. What do you mean? It's a Muslim website. AI is nothing against it, in front of it.
I don't want to click on links. Can you send a picture?
I am unverified. I can't.
Okay, here
Just
goes
click on
nothing.
it's sunnah.com. It's the most famous hadith website.
Okay, bro. Okay, wait on.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not a religious instruction. There was a specific case study of a prophet. That prophet said to someone that camel milk has healing properties, right?
Yeah.
And in ancient Arab, listen to me. If you have knowledge and understanding and you think, reflect, and contemplate, you will understand that ancient Arab used there was less medicine and there was less uh, uh, so ancient Arab used urine of camel as a medicine. Ancient Arab. It's not religious. It's not religious commandment.
And the Prophet, he approved it. He said it's okay. Go and drink camel urine.
To the specific case study. To the specific case study, not for everyone, and it's not the religious
Doesn't
command.
matter which case. Go to scientific studies. It
So
says
you
if
are
you
here. Listen to me. Can I complete? It's
Yeah,
not a
go
religious
complete.
command. You cannot manipulate it as a religious. It's a hadith, that saying of Prophet to someone that if you are sick, I am giving you advice on this, to the specific case study, not a religious commandment. Did you understand?
I don't
Not for
care
everyone.
in which case. If you're a prophet, you should know how toxic camel urine could be for your body, for your health.
So, okay, if you are in ancient Arab, Arab at the time, 14,000 years ago, and you are dying and you need medicine and there is no medicine, and there is one person saying that there is evident proof that camel urine can heal you, will you drink it or not? And you are dying.
No.
Tell me.
See, I don't care if you drink it or not.
You are
If it's a
mommy daddy,
prophet-
you listen to me. I'm saying 14 years
my
ago.
argument. That's not my argument. My argument is if you're a prophet, you're
14
allowing.
years ago.
If it doesn't matter, you're a prophet, right? You're God messengers.
Peace be upon him, respectful. So peace
You're
be upon
Muhammad,
him.
right? You're Muhammad. So if you're Muhammad and you are saying to
Yeah, my
people, drink
Muhammad,
camel
peace be upon
urine,
him. Yeah.
yeah, Muhammad is ordering people, not ordering,
So
but
I've
approving
answered
people to
your
drink camel
question.
urine.
Thank you so much. I've answered your question. I hope you understand.
It's not answering, it's dodging the question, but okay.
Okay, the question is simple. Like, if he tells that yes, there is a historical report that where he told a group of sick people to drink camel milk and urine as a medical treatment. So, if you're saying something, and that statement called a proof, like, might be. What do you think about it? Do you have any argument for this, Mister?
Well, that statement is not universal. That statement belongs in that time of century.
Oh, then you follow the universal thing upon your Quran or everything because your prophet said this. So you didn't believe on the universal way of what your prophet is saying.
So let me answer your question, Eddie. What's your question? Please tell me.
I was saying, if someone said, like you can see here, where he told a group of a sick people to drink camel milk and urine as a medical treatment. So if you're saying it, then it's considered as a statement and it's recorded, right? As a prophet said this. So
Yeah,
what do you
Prophet
want to
said
say? Yeah.
Yeah, Prophet said this. The sick people. Imagine, is there any wrong thing in it? Tell me.
No scientific study says
And
camel
listen
urine is
to
good
me.
for your
Okay,
health.
guys, wait a second.
Can I complete? So
Oh,
he
wait a
asked me a question.
second. Okay,
Yeah.
John, complete your answer, then I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, so to answer your question, Eddie, so Prophet said this. Yes, I agree. And on the other hand, you need to study the case study. What the specific situation? There was people, some people, right, dying, sick. Maybe they were having some kind of disease, and at the time we were not having that medical opportunities and these things. And Prophet said, "Go, camel milk and urine can heal you." So, is there any wrong thing in it? No, it's not a religious command. It's not a
Sorry
religious
for
command.
interruption. Sorry for
It's not,
interruption.
let
May
me
I ask you
complete.
something?
It's not a
Oh,
religious
no.
command. It's a specific case study,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So there is
We got
nothing
it.
wrong in it.
We got it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it.
We
But-
got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
It's not a universal command for all Muslims. It was a specific case. We got it. Okay. So
Yeah,
here is my approach. Okay. Why these people are using this hadith? Because, like, we know that it's harmful right now, and it's supposed to be harmful at that time also, because that urine didn't change, and human biology is the same also. But the problem here is, it's not an ordinary person who use such kind of medical treatment. It's the messenger of God, and Muslims believe that Muhammad brought miraculous book which people cannot bring at that time. And that book has a lot of scientific things that people didn't know at that time. That's the claim of believers, right? So if this is the case, if this is really the case, the question is why God didn't inform Muhammad that, hey, don't use the urine. Here is how you can extract, some medicine from this tree, from this plant, or in a different way, or in a miraculous way. So that's the question. Instead,
Yeah.
Muhammad is applying something can be harmful, and I think there are many cases that shows that many people died because of camel urine. If that's the case, so God must
Yeah.
know that it's something harmful, and why? The question is why God couldn't give a treatment, a proper treatment to Muhammad, like a medicine.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I would say if he know the reality, what's happened after that, what the resultant of that. So yeah, why should he is against a certain group or anything? Yeah.
Well, that statement could vary. I already say it was not universal. Many of his statement was not universal. It was for a certain situation and time at the century of 18th century.
Again,
You're strawmanning the argument. We never claimed it's universal. We are saying even if in a specific case, prophet didn't knew it's toxic.
So
What kind of prophet is that?
Is Rick. You are obsessed with this. The reality is, if you drink your own urine, it's same as your the camel or cow, whatever. Yeah. If you
yeah.
are,
So
yeah.
I really appreciate agnostic owner. You raised a very good question. Really, I appreciate that. And like,
Appreciation.
like I already said that an atheist is better than a misguided person. So I appreciate you.
That's who used that. That was you who said that.
Yeah.
No. I don't think. Then
Yeah.
that's the
See.
general case.
Go up, and I said that.
Anyway.
And then SS argued with me something. Then I replied,
Yeah,
by the way, we are all the son of Adam, so I don't think so. But there's some kind of of religion, even Gita, but Eddie, I'm pronouncing it right.
Bhagavad
But
Gita.
Gita, yeah, Gita.
Yeah.
Gita says there's only one God. Yeah, really?
No.
Gita said that. By the way, study Gita.
See, Gita is not alone. Gita is one of the book in Hindu pantheon. There are a lot of books. Gita alone doesn't make sense.
Said that.
To read Gita, you have to read other books. To read Gita, you have to read other books.
I'm
You cannot
talking to
just
Eddie.
alone read Gita.
You have restricted knowledge. I'm talking to Eddie.
I was
Eddie,
born in a Hindu family. What are you talking about?
Born in Hindu or Muslim or Christian family doesn't mean you have knowledge.
I read Gita, I read Vedas, I read most of the Hindu scriptures. So just don't say I don't have it.
Okay, bro, you have knowledge.
Okay. Let's make peace. Okay, let's say that.
Yeah.
Ali, you're right. Let's suppose that's what Bhagavad Gita says. Okay, it says that there is one God. So what's your point?
Yeah, my point was like, if Bhagavad Gita is saying God is one, then and God cannot be represented in a physical entity like physical shape, idol, or any kind of physical statue. You cannot make God in this form. So Bhagavad Gita said that. So why do you guys following elephant, cow, and different goats? God for rain, God for different as you know that. So why you guys using these things? I have a question. I'm very intrigued. I'm asking this question for knowledge, not for arguing with you.
Yeah,
So
but
could you please answer?
when knowledge comes, you are not opening your ears for the knowledge, because as SS claimed, he comes from a Hindu family and he knows about those books. So most likely the answer is they do those things because they follow other books too. Or maybe they follow other books in Hinduism.
Yeah. So could you please answer my question, SS or Eddie?
Yes. Okay. So the problem is you don't understand the difference between deity and God. They treat elephant, plants, whether all of them as deity. They don't treat it as God. They don't treat it as a creator. You're confusing between creator and deity. They think it is divine. They don't mean it created the universe.
Yeah, um, we have our certain scriptures, like we have Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Ramayana, a lot of Puranas are there. But yeah, in Bhagavad Gita, as I have a little knowledge about it, yeah, there is a supreme God. They said this Lord Krishna as a supreme Brahma and Ishwar, Pramatha. So few verses say this, but the reality check is that no, like we have a certain, yeah, that's as I said, like we have a certain rules we follow. Like we have a deities, like we worship elephant because there is a Ganesha who belonged to a god of Shiva, like he's a son of Shiva. So there is a long story. So it's all belong to the story. We are connected to the stories thing. Then we do worship of that, like according to Vedas, like Ganesha is related a big story. I didn't tell you in few words here. So yeah, that's why we have a lot of deities. The God is one. Okay, the creator, the Siblinga. What is Siblinga? That's the creation of the whole world. According to Hinduism, I'm saying. Okay. And another thing is that if you see the reality check of it, like we understand the whole thing scenarios very well because that's the creation we are talking. And deities, what's that? That's the story behind that. That's created the version of that. We have, yeah, I do agree, we have one God as a Hinduism, that
No,
is
no,
Shiva.
no.
The
Wait, wait,
creation,
wait.
the creation.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. The
yeah, yeah.
creator is the Brahma, the maintainer is the Vishnu, and the destroyer is Shiva.
Mhm.
So there is no one, there is three, according to most of the Hindu texts.
Yeah, I do agree with your point, but my perception is different in this approach, I would say,
So which book
because
are you
he's
coming
called
from?
the
Which book are you coming from?
creation.
Which book are you
Mhm.
coming?
See, I'm follower of Gita.
See, if you even read Gita, if you read Puran, Vishnu Puran, there are a lot of books, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Gita,
I
the
didn't read
supreme
them
god
though.
is Vishnu. In Gita, the supreme god is Vishnu.
I'm gonna
In
give
Vishnu
you
Puran,
very explicit explanation of Bhagavad Gita and the verse which prohibit
again, but
this
see,
thing.
see, see.
Chapter
Bhagavad
9, verse
Gita is
23 and
only
verse
one
24.
book.
Guys,
Chapter
Hey,
chill,
9,
guys.
chapter 9, verse
Don't
23
fight.
and 24, Bhagavad Gita. Even those who are devotees of other gods and worship them with faith, they also worship me. O Arjun, whatever your god, O Arjun, thought not to be proper manner. Did you
hey,
understand? And did you heard this?
wait, wait. How can I call
According to
you? Your
your
name is in Arabic. Can you give me a
chapter
name so that I
9,
can call you?
verse number 23 and 24.
Hey, what is your name? How can I call you? Arabic name.
It's a chapter 9, verse number 23 and 24.
Okay, okay. See, listen. In Hinduism, there is no one book like Quran. You have Islam, right? In Hinduism, there are a lot of books. Even if you don't follow Gita and if you follow Vedas, you can still be a Hindu. If you don't follow Veda, you don't follow Gita, you can still be a Hindu. You just cannot
I
quote
am
one book and
Muslim.
say that is Hinduism.
I am Muslim, and I studied your Gita, and I came across Bible and other
Gita
divine
is
books.
not the
But
supreme
I
book in
want to say
Hinduism. Why
that
don't you understand?
you are a lot of your pundit and a lot of your supreme people, those who preach Hinduism, they are different. Different. They have no specific mind, and
Ah,
they are saying that you cannot make a god in physical entity, which means you cannot make idol, cow idol, elephant idol. You cannot do it.
do
So
you
god is
understand what I
one.
say? Like, do you get it? Like,
Well,
I am saying in Hinduism, there
yeah,
is no supreme book. You cannot say Gita is the supreme book. There are a lot of books, and nobody is, less or more than another. You can just believe in Veda and you can be a Hindu.
you should be reading Gita first, I think.
No, Gita is nothing. Vedas are more important. You are judging Hinduism from an Abrahamic lens. It's not an Abrahamic religion. You're coming from an Abrahamic lens and judging an Eastern religion when you don't know the intricacies and nuances of Eastern religions.
Yeah, I do agree with him because there is not no a single book which we call supreme book like Bible or Quran instead of Hinduism has a vast collection, I would say. A lot of ancient philosophical books like Vedas and everything. Rig Veda, Yoga
I
Veda. I
agree.
do agree
Like
with
they
this one.
said, and I
Yeah.
studied that. They said we have tons of books in Hinduism. But I want to argue that if you have tons of book, what it means, like Quran is one, and see the population of Muslim people, and it doesn't matter like how many books do you have. It matters that what is truth. Bible, I agree with Bible, right? Old
See,
Testament.
I'll explain you in some way. Okay,
Do
I'll
you think
explain you.
you should be having one book in Hinduism? Why you have tons of books?
See,
Why people
Tons
cares about it?
requirement is that every
Again,
like I'll tell you,
the point is same. You are seeing
Bhagavad Gita.
the
Yeah.
you are seeing Eastern religion from a Brahmic perspective. What is the meaning of should here? I mean, should everyone follow what you believe? Why? It's the Eastern religion. It's the Eastern cultural religion. It has its own dynamics. Why do you think? Why?
You're asking me?
Yeah, Mr. Ali, I'm asking you.
If you have a better understanding, I said that. Do you think you? So, Bobber, please don't argue with me on stupid stuff. Thank you.
Okay, so let me point on
Oh,
like
this.
Ali in the points.
Should I
Yeah, I'll
call it
explain
as?
you.
Okay, I just want to say one thing to Ali. Ali, why there's so many books in Hinduism? Because they didn't want, their religion to be stuck in past. They wanted their religion to evolve according to new changing reality of the world. So even if you don't believe in any of those books, right? Even if you believe in science, you can still be a Hindu. Hinduism doesn't say you have to believe in a book to be a Hindu. Hinduism says you have to believe in karma to be a Hindu. So it's an evolving religion. It's not a religion stuck 1400 years ago.
And yeah, I do agree with this. Let me explain you in simpler way, I would say. See, every book have their own thing. Like if you take the example of Upanishads, okay, that's a philosophical core of Hinduism. Okay, basically that teaches the spiritual philosophy, the soul, which we call Atma, God as a Brahma, Karma, and rebirth and moksha. And if you take the example of Bhagavad Gita, you are repeating that Bhagavad Gita is most popular and reversed, like everybody read. They contain 700 Gita sloks, which said by the Lord Krishna to the Arjuna. If you read it in Mahabharata, so that teaches us the duty, dharma. That's called dharma, devotion. That called bhakti, karma of yoga. Okay, and nature of the god, considered as a summary of you can say like a Hindu philosophy. Okay, but if you take example of Ramayana, we have a different books. Okay, that's our epic scriptures are the Ramayana and Mahabharata, with not just a story. That's a ethic, dharmas, and value of every life. So every different. I can explain every book as a simpler way. So we have a different and diverse explanation of every book. So we didn't end up to a certain book. We have a lot of diverse culture, then we can explore it in a different stories and different epic stories like that, different scriptures like that. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Actually, Ramayana is not a good book. If you follow Ramayana, your life will be ruined. It will be destroyed.
You don't have to follow it. You can choose to not follow it if you don't like it.
Yeah.
There's a compulsion in Hinduism.
There are a lot of choices. You
If
can
you
choose
comply
with
your
own.
father's promise and you destroy your life for your father's promise, you leave your wife because your subjects doubt that your wife is not chaste, she is not good. So you are
Yeah,
going to sacrifice her.
Ram is a very controversial figure. I agree with you. And there's one more thing. He said, "Oh, there is a caste system in Hinduism." But in Hinduism, you can get rid of caste system. You can say, "I don't believe in caste," and you can still be a Hindu. But in Islam,
Yeah. Even if I am atheist, I can be a Hindu.
Yeah. But in Islam, you have to divide the whole world into two paths: Muslims and non-believers. And if you don't think that the world is divided into two paths, you cannot be a Muslim, because Quran says non-believers are the worst of all creatures. So
And
in Islam,
Charvak philosophy is a part of
Yes.
Hinduism. They don't believe in
Yes.
karma. They just
So I am
believe in that enjoy your life. Even if you commit
Right.
sin, that doesn't matter. There is only one
Right.
life. And after life,
That-
there is nothing.
That's what I am saying. In Islam, there is no scope of reform. If you're stuck, you're stuck. In Hinduism, you can get rid of all the, problematic things. So I'm not defending Hinduism and saying it's good. I'm saying even if it was bad in past, they're trying to make it better. But in Islam, you have no concept of making it better because you think it's perfect.
No, I find problem in every religion,
Yeah.
Even in Islam, I find a problem that suppose you are a Muslim and suppose you are a Hindu and you have liked Islam and you have been converted to Islam, you are a Muslim for 2 years, and 2 years later you think, no, I should be a Christian now. And then you will be killed according to the law of Islam. Once you are a Muslim, you can never change your religion. But
As
religion
Sahih
is not a matter of
Bukhari,
force.
as Sahih Bukhari 6922 says, Prophet Muhammad said, anybody who changes his Islamic religion, kill him. It's written in Hadith.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That why are you forcing a person to be Muslim throughout his whole life? If he doesn't like the religion, if he wants to take another religion, okay, let him choose another religion. Why will you take his life?
No, but Islam is peaceful, right? And peaceful religion, sometimes you have to, use violence. It's okay. It's a peaceful religion.
And another thing is, once you divorce your wife, you cannot take her back. You have to have her hilda marriage, that she has to be married
Halal.
with another person. She has to have sex with her, and then you can take her.
Right.
So problems are everywhere, actually.
Again, Christians are getting rid of their problems. Hindus are getting rid of their problems. Muslims are not ready to get rid of their problems. That's the problem. They are defending their problems. They're not getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's right. And another problem is Hinduism, I can tell you, that who is the supreme god, In Vishnu Purana, it is written that Vishnu is the supreme god. In Shiv Purana, it is written Shiv is the supreme god. And another place, they are saying Brahma is the supreme god. So there is
Again,
a confusion between the gods.
you're coming from a wrong premise. You're assuming Hinduism is a thing. Hinduism as a concept was given by outsiders to Indians. In India, there were different concepts of, Shaivism, Vishnuism. There were different philosophies. There was no one religion called Hinduism in India. So again, it's an Abrahamic perspective of putting cultural and religious traditions.
Hinduism is never Eastern religion. Hinduism came from the Aryans and it was originated in Persia, Iran. It was
Iran is
never
itself,
invented in India.
Iran is itself Eastern. They had their religion called, what is that?
And you
Zoroastrianism.
know where did the Aryans
Zoroastrianism is
came
itself
to
Eastern.
Iran? They came from Turkmenistan. They
They
came from
didn't.
a steppe.
They came from a place near Armenia. They came from steppes. But
Yeah.
okay,
So you can never claim it to be a Eastern religion.
it is an Eastern religion because they came from that place, but it was developed. When you read Vedas, there was no mention of Iran. There was no mention of any other parts of the world. They only mention, the Sub-Sindhu region, the Sindhu River, the Ganga River. They don't mention any other parts of the world.
There are other Eastern religion as well. Think about
Yes.
Buddhism. They don't have a
Yeah.
lot of books like Hindus. So all the Eastern religions are not same.
I'm not claiming they're same. When did I claim?
Even Sikhism, they don't have a lot of books. They have only
I never
one book,
claimed
that is
they're
Granth
same.
Sahib.
I never claimed they're same.
So Hinduism is adopting everything. Even in the future, they might adopt Islam. Even the person can say those who believe in Quran, they are also Hindu.
See, according to Hinduism, you can believe in any god. It doesn't matter. You can still
No,
go to
even
heaven.
if you don't believe a god, you can be a
Yeah,
Hindu.
you can still go to heaven.
If you
because
believe
they
in karma,
karma.
you are a Hindu. If you
Yeah.
don't believe in karma, you are Hindu.
Yeah, they believe in karma. They don't believe. They don't care which god do you pray. They only
So
care if
they
you're
are
good
telling everybody is Hindu. Whatever he is, everybody is Hindu. Whatever the
Yes, yes.
religion is, he is a Hindu.
They only care
As
if
he
you're
is
good
a
human.
human being, he is a Hindu.
Yes. No, they say if you're a good human, you go to heaven. Doesn't matter which God you pray. I
No,
think that's a
no.
much more
In
peaceful way of
some
living.
parts of Hinduism, they don't believe in hell and heaven. I gave you the reference of Charvak philosophy, which is a part of
Again,
Hinduism. They don't believe
there
in
is
heaven
nothing
and
called
hell.
Hinduism. There is
Even if
nothing
they
called
don't believe
Hinduism.
in soul, they don't believe in karma. They
There
just
is
say
not.
enjoy your life. Whatever you
There's
want, you can do it.
there's nothing called Hinduism. It's a post hoc identity given to the culture of this region.
Yeah, culture. That's right. The people live the other side of the Indus River. They are Hindus.
Yeah.
Well, if you make certain word vague enough, you can get anything out of it. So, aren't we making a word very vague? Hinduism is a religion, and it has its own characteristics and ideas and dogmas and things like that. And what are we trying to get out of it? That are we trying to make it vague enough so that anybody can be Hindu? I mean, what is this?
I mean, there is no concept of Hinduism, right? Hinduism is just a umbrella word you give to various philosophies that existed in this region. It's an umbrella term. It's not a thing that was devised, one day. Oh, from this day we start Hinduism. There was no such day. There is no such thing called Hinduism.
Well, there is nothing like Hinduism.
It's an
Are you
umbrella
saying so?
term to various philosophies that existed in this region.
Okay, but it is something.
Now we know it is something. I'm not saying it is not
And
something.
what is it? Can we
It is
define it?
it is an umbrella term for all the philosophies that existed in this region of Indian subcontinent, either Shaivism,
My boy,
Vishnuism, different kinds of philosophy.
my boy, uh, that's again too vague. I mean, umbrella term is. Do we define things by using umbrella terms? No, we use certain definitions. So can we define it like
No,
we
no,
have
we
other
can't.
religions?
I don't think we can define Hinduism. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's too vague to be
Yeah.
even anything.
So don't you think that's much better than being dogmatic?
Well, that's equal nonsense.
No, it is nonsense for sure, but it is much more, tolerant.
Less lesser nonsense.
No, it is maybe it's equal nonsense. What I'm saying is
Well,
it is much more tolerant, right?
well, yeah, it is because it is too vague.
Yeah.
Thanks to nothing that it is too vague. It's not dogmatic. At least in that sense, other religions are. Okay. Christianity is becoming vague over the time. It has become
And
less dogmatic.
yeah, and that is why, you don't find Christians
Now
being
there is a
so
word
violent or
Christian.
militant.
The Christian word have changed its meaning over the time. Now the word Christian is taken more as a good person. Okay, a person of good value. You know, a person of good moral conduct is Christian. Now it's again becoming vague.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Jordan, as Jordan Peterson
I
says, and many
think,
others. Yeah.
yeah, in 15th century, 16th century, we witnessed the war, 30 years of war, from 1618 to 1648, roughly. So then the Christian term was very clear. Okay, either you belong to this church denomination or that church denomination. So yeah, but since 1970s, origin of critical realism of Christianity in Christianity, the term have lost its orthodoxy, or again now it's what I was saying is now a good person is a Christian. Same can we say about the Hinduism, that a good person is a Hindu. Okay, in a broader sense. Okay, whatever, uh, whatever way we choose. But in a broader perspective, a good person is a Hindu is going to heaven, and same is now becoming with the Christianity. It's becoming too big. So now it's more about becoming good person, a person of value, a person of ethics and things like that. If you are a good person, you are going to heaven regardless of whichever religion you follow. Uh, Now, as we see that criticism over the religion have increased dramatically in the last 150 years, and the whichever the religion have people with the reason, to think about it you know, uh, and try to redefine things. Those religions have evolved. Now they are evolving. They are becoming more flexible. But in case of let's say Islam, it's going opposite. It's not evolving. It's devolving. It's going down. It's becoming more orthodox. It's becoming more rigid over the time. Unlike other religions have become flexible over the time. They are redefining things in a more flexible way. The new Hinduism, there is a new word now, a new Hinduism. Okay. In Christianity, we have critical realism. And what do we have in Islam? I mean, um, it's it's going opposite. It's becoming more orthodox over the time.
If you see countries like Central Asia, Indonesia, they used to be so liberal before. I talk with people there. No women would wear hijab. But in last 20 years, so many women have started wearing hijab, and they're becoming much more radical. And I would blame it. I mean, I don't know, what would you blame it to?
Well, I can blame it to something. I mean, I can blame it um, and made them do some particular
Is
things.
it about
Okay,
internet? Is it
I
about
was
internet?
astonishing. No, no, it's not about internet. If you just Google on YouTube, you can find the old videos from the start of the 20th century about Malaysia, Indonesia. People were naked, even they did not used to wear clothes. Okay, then you see uh, burqas, okay, yeah, hijabs and things like that. Yeah, a religion can transform the culture in its entirely.
Not every religion. I think
Yeah.
it's specific to Abrahamic religions. They can literally transform.
Well, as you see that Christianity is, the largest religion. It's quite flexible. It has become quite flexible over the time,
It
so it
has,
does not
yeah. I
affect
would
you
agree.
anymore.
I would agree. Yes.
But in past, there were things like if you are living in a Christian area, you change. Yeah, you have to adopt accordingly. I think the brutality that we saw in the Christianity, it's I think it's more than we see the orthodoxy as compared to Islam. Islam is not that orthodox. It's still not that orthodox. It has never been that orthodox as the Christianity was in 14th, 15th
In
century,
which
in 12th
regards?
century.
In which regards?
I mean, it, um, uh, in every aspect of dogma,
For
you have to,
example,
if you are living in a Christian in a area, Christian area, and you are Christian, you have to follow certain rules. So the concept of heresy was very strong.
there is a
uh,
concept of blasphemy in Islam. There is a concept of apostasy in Islam.
yeah, yeah, but apostasy and blasphemy, okay, they can be very clearly defined, although currently we don't have
Blasphemy is not
proper
defined. I think
definition
blasphemy
for.
could be claimed for anything. You could be hurt by anything. You could say anything, and they would say, "Oh, you insulted prophets." I don't
Yeah,
think.
now it has become, yeah, again, yeah, it has become vague, so
So,
anything
where
can be
would you like to live?
blasphemous.
Would you live in 14th century Rome, or would you live in today's Afghanistan?
Well, I will. I will better die, not to
Just choose
live there.
one. That will prove which is more orthodox.
Well, I think in the 14th century, the Rome was very orthodox. They would, put me on stake if I say anything against Christianity.
No, is it
So
more orthodox than Afghanistan today?
I can't compare because I never lived there. But the parameters are same. I would be killed in either cases.
Do you think that, I mean, there is any other ideology which could,
I
keep
am
you in 7th century as Islam does, which is so potent in keeping you in past? I don't think there is any other ideology.
well. That is why religions are. That is what religions are. They are ideologies.
Okay.
For a common person, they have to follow something. They have to believe in something. You can't assume a simple person, a layman, can make meaning out of life, make meaning of universe, and no, it can't. Us average person can't do that. They have to believe in something. They need ready-made answers. It's failure on our side, on the on the side of
But if
philosophy,
ready-made
that we
answers are
fail to
more
provide.
peaceful, then wouldn't it be better? If the ready-made answers are more peaceful, more tolerant, wouldn't it be better?
Well, in comparative sense, yes, there can be
Yes.
better ready-made answers based on reason. Yeah,
Okay, so I
based
made a
on reason.
statement. How would you agree with me or would you not? So I said, if you're a
Uh,
good Muslim, you cannot be a good human. And if you're a Muslim and you want to be a good human, then you have to be a bad Muslim.
well, uh, can you restate it and explain it
Okay,
to
I
me
have
a
I
little?
wrote it.
Because
I'll just text you. Wait, I wrote it.
please,
Yeah, you can read it.
okay, a good Muslim is often a bad human, and as a Muslim, to be a good human, you have to be a bad Muslim. What do you guys think about him? Okay. Now, good Muslim is often a bad human. No, it's not.
What do I mean by good Muslim? A good Muslim is a Muslim who follows everything in Quran, who follows Hadith, who follows Sunnah, who follows it completely. That is a good Muslim, right?
Well, no one can follow the religion in totality.
No, I'm not talking about totality. I'm talking about tending to totality, not reaching totality.
So, isn't this statement about the ideals? A good Muslim can
A
be a
good
person who
Muslim,
is just
I
living a normal
define
life.
no,
Just
no.
pray 5 times a day. That's it.
I define good Muslim as a person who follows whatever his religion says, whatever.
Oh, well, okay.
When I say good Muslim, it's not according to me; it's according to Islam, who is a better Muslim, who follows what's written in religion, right?
A good Muslim is, we can say, according to Islam, a good Muslim is one who believe in Quran
And who
and
follows Sunnah, and who follows
Allah.
more and more things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly,
So if you follow
exactly.
Sunnah, most of the things, if you follow Quran, most of the things, if you believe in everything, then I think most often than
Hmm.
not, you would be a bad human, as we define bad in a contemporary sense.
Well, we can say the same about Christians, Jews. We can say same about any other religious person.
I don't think about Buddhism. You can say the same.
I can say the same thing about Buddhism
How?
because they are blinded by some, philosophy of karma and pida.
I
They
mean,
think
if
that
you're
life
if
is
you're
bad
being
in itself.
extremely peaceful, if you're being
They are pessimist and they are bad. Okay, how do I define good and bad? It's up to me now.
that's why I said it. By good I mean in contemporary sense. By good I don't mean in relative sense, in subjective sense.
They are not driven by religion. reason. They are driven by some kind of philosophy and dogma that is antiquated and has nothing to do with the human life. Human life is not pain. They're fools. They're not good humans.
By good and bad, I don't mean you're being reasonable. By good and bad, I am putting criteria of peace, of being peaceful.
Well, I now you use the term peace for good and bad. So
Yeah, that's
Muslim can
my
be peaceful.
definition. Yeah, that's my definition. But if
Muslim
you
can
follow
be
everything,
peaceful.
yeah, if you follow everything in
If you
Quran, if
follow
you follow
everything in religion, yeah, you can be a good human being in that sense. Because there
could
is
you
also concept of in Sunnah, there is a concept of ijtihad. So you can do an interpretation of Quran according to the time. So I can change the word of jihad. I can change the meaning of jihad. So ijtihad is open in Islam. So you can't say no.
I don't. I'm not even talking about falling. For example, Surah 98, verse 6 says, all the non-believers are people of scriptures, and all the polytheists are the worst of all creatures. So if you literally believe in it, you'll be filled with hatred towards other people. Don't you think so?
Well, you can contextualize it.
How could you?
There are ways. I mean, contextualize it. If you ask a Muslim apologist, he can give you a better explanation for that.
I mean, most of them say yes if they choose kufr over iman. Of course, they're worse.
Well, sometimes it's a matter of right and wrong, and they can make interpretation out of it. I mean, there are hadiths in which Prophet Muhammad favored non-believers over Muslims in certain sense.
Again, Quran is the topmost book, right?
Quran and Sunnah. Prophet Muhammad was embodiment of Quran. That's how it is believed.
But again,
His words are very important.
if a hadith contradicts
Now,
Quran,
the Quran, again, Quran have other verses as well. It says all humans are equal. Now, they
no,
can get that verse out of it. They can say that all humans are equal.
no. But there is a concept of what is it called? When the new words came, and if it contradicts the previous one, that previous one isn't valid anymore.
Abrogation.
Abrogation, yeah.
Abrogation, yeah. Yeah. So we can construe it abrogated. Certain verses, we can say that this verse is abrogated.
Yeah, so most of the peaceful
It's
verses.
depend on ijtihad.
No,
It's depend on ijma.
most of the peaceful verses came when it was in Makkah, right? And most of the violent verses came when it was in Medina. So if we go to abrogation, most of
Well,
the Muslim verses would be abrogated.
well, that's not true. Because according to statistical analysis, the time Prophet Muhammad spent in Makkah is more, and the content of Quran that was delivered in the Makkah is also, I think, more than 80 surahs are Makki surahs. So,
yeah,
I mean, then this statistical analysis. Okay, from a temporal point of view, I agree with you. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not defending Islam. I'm just giving you apologistic perspective.
I mean, it's a logical thing. If you're in Mecca, you're not in power. You would be peaceful. When you came to Medina, you got power. You started being violent. That's logical to understand. But Medina
Maybe
was
that's how
later.
God wanted.
No,
Maybe
it's
that's
okay.
how God wanted.
It's okay. But if the violent verses came later, then the peaceful verses would be
That's
abrogated, right?
no, that's not the principle of abrogation.
If they contradict.
No, that's not the principle of abrogation.
That is because there is a verse from which they came, take away the abrogation, which says Allah always gives better
Bro,
and better verses. There is a verse.
well, there is a verse, and there is no well-defined parameter to assess it. Which verse is abrogated by which verse? There are roughly 88 abrogations according to some scholars, but they are not in agreement about even those abrogations.
Basic
So
parameter is
again, you
contradiction.
see, let's try to make things vague here. Now there are two types of ayat, I mean verses. One that are categorical and the other are metaphorical. So which is what? I mean, that's very hard to find out. Even scholars don't know. Most of the scholars don't know which ayat is categorical and which is metaphorical. I mean, it is vague enough. Okay. The thing is that if you are a good apologist, things are vague enough. You can make anything out of it.
But God said, I made it so clear for you and I made it easy to understand for you.
That again is a verse of Quran that
Yeah.
there are two types of verses. It's also a verse of Quran. There are two types of verses. One is metaphorical, the other is categorical, and you can learn from the people of knowledge about the word, about the verses and the meaning from the people of wisdom, you know,
No, but if
about
there's so
the
many
verses that
disagreements,
are metaphorical.
but if there's so many
Well,
disagreements, this verse which says,
now
I made it easy for you, that verse failed, right? If that was verse would have really worked, there would be no disagreements if it was so easy for us to understand.
that's how they can say that this is the test. I mean,
But the
I
verse
mean,
failed
you can create apologies. I mean, I'm just
when the
trying to be
verse
apologist here.
when the verse says, I made it easy for you, and it is not easy, there are so many contradictions and so many vagueness, then it is not easy, then the verse failed.
Well, I am not a good apologist, but I'm just trying to. Okay, let me. Now the concept of abrogation is particular, specific. Okay, and not every verse may contradict the later coming verse. It's not necessary. So there is no principle of abrogation, no clear principle. Okay, there are certain principles derived by some scholars, but again, uh, which verse means what? Now it's a matter of interpretation.
I agree with you, and you're claiming it's vague. I'm claiming it's vague. But the verse which says, I made it easy for you to understand, that verse doesn't stand true because it's not easy to understand if it's so vague.
I mean, I can blame you. Well, if you are a Muslim, I can blame you. You don't understand it. You are not deliberate enough to understand the Quran.
No, but if all so many scholars disagree, how is it about me?
Well, that's that. If you are a scholar, then I can blame you.
No, but
We can
that
always
maybe
blame scholars. We can always blame human beings. They are fallible. God made it transparent. We can't understand it.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Rana.
So yeah, I'm listening. What's funny, guys?
Well, we are just trying to understand how much I'm just pretending to be an apologist of Islam. I studied Islam, so I was Muslim, so yeah, I have a deep understanding of the religion. I did a lot of debates with the Muslims, and I know a lot of ways to create apologies. So I'm just pretending to be a good apologist, and SS is trying to put some serious questions.
but you see, as an argument, if somebody's watching, you giving this apology, they are human, they're fallible. They would say that's not a good apology. Maybe it is an apology, but is it a good apology?
Uh, I don't know how to say things, but Babar, what was the question again? I literally didn't know what's
I
going
mean,
wrong. क्या हो रहा है
come on,
लड़के?
SS, throw some questions.
Yeah, you can throw like
Okay,
what's
let
going
me throw
on?
a question. Let me throw a question.
Yeah.
But I talk to Muslim women, I give them this study which says Muslim women have half a brain of a man. Most of the people in hell are women. You can beat your wife. I talk to Muslim women. They say, if Prophet says, yes, we are less intelligent. Less intelligence. If Prophet says, yes, our husband can beat us in certain circumstances. So I don't know why Muslim women don't defend themselves.
Can you repeat that last part? I mean, it's an issue to understand right now, if you don't mind, SS.
Uh, okay, I said I talk to Muslim women. Give them hadith which says, women have half a brain of a man. They're less in intelligence. They're like a dog and a donkey. Husband can beat his wife.
Okay.
They're like a field of cultivation. All these things. I give them, and they say, so what? That's what Prophet said, so it is. Why Muslim women don't defend themselves as a woman?
Well, I just kicked by, and women. I was arguing like, why should we get married early ages? So, end of the day, so far, I just get it. The woman wants, and I think so. She was Muslim, but I'm also Muslim. So the thing is, she didn't want to marry someone, and she have we have an proper argument, but end of the day she kicks me even though I'm a co-owner of that group and banned for like 15 minutes because I'm kept trying to so the thing is, if you are asking a question, so you have to be like check on that person, if that's the right person or not.
It's
So
not
you
about
have
one
to ask us,
person.
not
No. I have talked to hundreds of Muslim women, and every time I get surprised. I mean, I don't get surprised now. I'm used to it. They don't want to defend
women's
themselves. They don't
yeah
want to
women
defend
women's
women's
have
rights.
surprises. I mean, nobody can understand, even though I have a whole book I read on women psychology. Till now I'm unable to understand that shit. So keep away
It's not about
from,
women again.
yeah.
I'm not talking about all women. I'm only specifically talking about Muslim women. Why they don't
Oh,
defend themselves?
why they don't depend themselves, Babar?
Defend,
You can,
defend.
Babar,
डिफेंड
मुझे बता सकता है
डिफेंड
सवाल क्या क्या है, बाबर?
यार सवाल ये है कि यार ये औरतें मुसलमान जो हैं अपने आप को डिफेंड क्यों नहीं करती जब इनको बताया जाता है ना ये जो हदीस है जो एसएस कोट कर रहे हैं एसएस
हाँ
कैन
हाँ
बी
yeah,
so
I just want to understand.
यहाँ पर
I
लैंग्वेज
just
का
want to, that's why.
there is a problem about the communication
Yeah, I
क्वेश्चन
want to
इज
understand you
कि
completely,
यार
yes,
खवातीन को जब बताया जाता है कि
जी जी
देखिए क्वेश्चन ये है ठीक है कि जब मुसलमान खवातीन को बताया जाता है कि औरतें जो हैं वो अक्ल में मर्द से आधी हैं और औरतों को जो मुशायबत दी गई है गधों के साथ ठीक है
नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं
तो
कहा,
उस ये जब हदीस जो है
ऐसा तो कहीं नहीं कहा गया, बाबर।
वेल एक हदीस है ना
I can
इस
give
तरह
you. Which one do you want? I can give you any.
यार हदीस है
Which one? Which one? I
Well,
have it. Which
well,
one? I have.
इट्स अ थिंग, बाबर इसको थोड़ा सा, मेरा इंग्लिश अच्छी है लेकिन अभी शायद थोड़ा सा बिगड़ा हुआ है, इनको थोड़ा सा समझाएं। हदीस में भी ना दो किस्म की हदीस हैं, एक
Sahih hadith I'm talking about. Sahih.
या सही एंड मतलब पक्की और
There are three kinds
या
of hadith: Sahih, Hasan, and Daif. They're not two. They're three.
हाँ, तो ये अगेन बाबर भाई, सॉरी इंटरप्ट यू। हाँ,
And this is from
जी
Sahih
जी
Bukhari. Okay, this is from Sahih Bukhari.
और
You
ये
read it.
आपका क्या कह रहे थे बाबर
Sahih
भाई?
Bukhari.
आप कुछ बता रहे थे
वो ये है कि यार वो कह रहे हैं कि डिफेंड क्यों नहीं करती खवातीन मुस्लिम जो जब इनको बताया जाता है वो क्यों हैरान नहीं होती वो तो कहती हैं ठीक है अगर ऐसा है तो है अगर हदीस में ऐसा लिखा गया तो ऐसे ही होगा हम अकल में आधी हैं और
आपने
जो है
जवाब
ना
दिया?
वो है
आपने दिया इनको कुछ सेटिस्फेक्शन वाला जवाब दिया?
नहीं नहीं मैंने तो वो इन्होंने क्वेश्चन ये अभी थ्रो किया है ना इससे पहले तो और क्वेश्चन चल रहे थे अभी क्वेश्चन आया ये
चले आप जवाब दें। I'm just I just understand now that question and about what you are trying to say, SS. So that's why we are just switching languages and ask it helps. So yeah,
well
Babar.
SS there are about Bukhari okay do you know about the Quranists the people who just believe in Quran and not in Hadith
I'm not
because
talking
there are a
about
lot of
Quran
contradiction
only.
about the Hadith.
No, I'm not talking about people who only follow Quran. Most of the people follow Hadith too. I'm talking about people who follow Hadith too.
Well, Hadith established quite later,
Yeah.
about the history about compilation of and collection of Hadith and compilation in 6 books. So it was roughly 2.5 century later the demise of Prophet Muhammad.
Yes.
So there is, a lot of addition
Yeah.
by many people. Bukhari collected roughly 200,000 hadiths, and the consensus that he found that these are agreeable hadiths were roughly
होते थे यार
6,000,
फुल बात कर टू दी
less
पॉइंट
than
बात कर रहे
6,000.
कि
So
लेस
there are
हाँ
hadiths, okay,
लेस
that
प्योरिटी दी जाती है हदीस को
huh, so these kind of hadiths are against the concept about the Quran, in the Quran, that nowhere in the Quran God mentioned things like that.
या
May
दे
God have said that women have there should be two women for testimony. Okay,
या
two
whenever whenever you
women's
are done
testimony
Babar
is equivalent to. Hmm.
whenever you're done just blink after that I have few points मैं भूलना ना जाऊं so yeah
Okay, okay, you can continue with that. But the thing is that this hadith contradict with the concepts in Quran, so
Again,
you can
see,
eliminate it.
see. The problem is you're coming from a minority view of people who say, Quran is like, I'm Quran only. I only believe in Quran. Hadith are, manufactured out of nowhere and stuff like that.
Mhm.
This is a minority view. This is not a majority view, right?
no let me correct you buddy let me correct you if you don't mind should I
Okay.
say something SS there is a thing like I want to say you I don't know how to say in Islam if we are correctly like following our path like we are following Quran so there is no need to follow hadith let me complete my point my point is the hadiths have that options to be add up new hadiths and all but Quran Majid have that like khuda Allah Ta'ala says that Quran Majid is my responsibility nobody is gonna add up on my writing my messages so but in hadith there are so many chances that the hadith was made up the hadith have three different what if this hadith is not uh, authentic or
Okay, wait.
that's the thing
Now wait.
and to be honest my last thing to sorry SS last thing I want to say there are majority that they are eating यार पकी पकाई रोटी को क्या बोलते हैं बाबर
Made up.
yeah there are so many things that father we get from our parents like Islam and I believe I just do that in my life I is like uh, I'm founding about religion I'm finding peace and end of the day I am on that Islam but before for astaghfirullah nauzubillah I just lost that belief that nobody is here nobody no one god kind of thing is but end of the day I have that kind of iman and very strong belief but yeah I mean I just want to say this to
Okay.
you there are majority like they are doing that rituals that forbidden in our Islam but what should I what should
Okay,
we
okay.
do
That's not even my
they
point.
are
Okay.
doing
Okay, now
like
listen, now listen, now listen.
okay sorry
The point is, first of all, this is a Sahih Hadith. This is not a Da'if Hadith. As you said, there are three kinds. You don't know if it's authentic. It's from Sahih Bukhari. All Hadith in Sahih Bukhari are Sahih. First of all, it's Sahih. Second, I'm not saying if it's contradict Quran, you don't have to follow it. It's not my claim that you have to follow it. My claim is, how could Prophet of the God say such a things? I'm not saying you have to follow this Sunnah. I'm only saying it's a Sahih Hadith. You cannot say it's not true. You're nobody. You can't say it's Daif. Scholars segregated it. Scholars think it's Sahih. So we will suppose it is God. So he said some misogynistic things.
okay
Well, even
Bab-
a Sahih hadith that
yeah
may
go on
contradict Quran we can eliminate it.
Again, you're not a scholar, right? Scholar, a lot of scholars say Bukhari
Yeah,
is
I
much
am.
more.
We are
So there
following
is the
scholars and
hadith,
all.
but they don't agree with this hadith.
You know, you're a much bigger scholar than how what Bukhari was. I think he
First
was a
of
bigger
all, buddy,
scholar.
don't get.
Bukhari was a compiler. Okay, he collected hadiths, more
Welcome,
roughly
Doctor
200,000 hadiths.
Doctor Psycho.
But
कैसा है?
did he accepted? Did he accept all those hadiths? No.
बाबर
Did he
पूछ,
said
इससे
that
पूछ,
these
बाबर
hadiths
इससे
are
पूछ,
supposed to be? जी जी.
इससे पूछ कि ये फॉलो कर रहे हैं इन चीजों को जो हमें हमसे पूछ रहा है, हमसे जवाब पूछ रहा है, क्या ये फॉलो करता है? इनसे ये पूछो ना.
I'm not a
यार,
Muslim.
he is
If
not a
he's
Muslim.
not a Muslim, then I mean, मैं तू से यार इस्लाम के अंदर बहस में ना जा बाबर भाई. मैं तुझे एक मशवरा दूं, ठीक है? इसको ठीक है, इसका बिलीव जैसे ये समझता है समझने दो. मैं जो अपनी तरफ से बोल के मैं अभी नहीं बोलूंगा इसके बारे में ना, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा सा सेंसिटिव टॉपिक है. इसमें तुझे भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है, खारिज होने के मामला बहुत
See,
जल्दी हैं.
see,
इसमें क्या
you're
समझ है?
if you're from Pakistan, don't say about this topic. Your life could be in danger. So
Huh?
I would,
Not
if you're
really,
from
buddy.
Pakistan,
Not really.
yeah,
I'm just translating him. What if like we
because
won't have to talk about these topics because
no,
our beliefs are very clear on these stuffs.
read
So
read read the read the welcome message. This room is about God, atheism, morality, afterlife,
Yeah,
religion, and
I
everything.
know. I just told you I was an atheist, but I came into my path again. And if you are asking specifically, so you have to be like, don't get me wrong, and I don't want to be like hurting you somewhere, but your questions are valid. But the thing is, there are so many majority are believing bad stuff, and I add up stuff like I want to say. And to be honest, Islam doesn't have like fix about this thing that you have to follow hadith, otherwise you are not Muslim. That's a rubbish, bro. I mean,
I never
Quran
claimed.
Majid.
I
So
never
you
claimed.
are saying that why your
No,
prophet
what?
says
Hey,
that
Babar,
stuff.
can you explain in my position?
Yeah, you
ओके. एसएस का पॉइंट ये है कि यार इस तरह की चीजें हैं जो कि आज के दौर के हिसाब से सेंस नहीं बनाती ना. ठीक है. और उनके सोर्सेज जो है वो कुरान और हदीस है और लोग उसको फॉलो कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. ये फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि मेजोरिटी कर रही मिनोरिटी कर रही है. बात ये है कि चीज मौजूद है इस तरह की
ये
जहां
बोल
पर
रहा है,
कोई
हाँ,
कंट्रोवर्सी है.
कि जहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं से वो हमारे आका मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने ये बात की है, और इसका ये मतलब है कि ऐसे मिसोजिनिस्टिक कमेंट्स कैसे कोई पास कर सकता है. आई गेट इट. मैं ये बात कह रहा हूँ, लेकिन यार इसको ये बात भी तो तू बता ना कि आधे से ज्यादा यहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ रिचुअल्स हैं लड़के, जिसकी वजह से हम बहुत ज्यादा कुरान मजीद को हमने रखा हुआ है सिर्फ सवाब की नीयत पे. ठीक है, इसको ये बताने की
या
जरूरत नहीं है. इसको नहीं बताने की जरूरत कि इसको सिर्फ ये बता कि हमारे यहाँ आधे से ज्यादा अवाम जो है ना, वो हदीसों के चक्कर में है, जिनकी वजह से बहुत सारे रिचुअल्स गलत हो चुके हैं. इसको सिर्फ ये मैं आइडिया देना चाहता हूँ, और की बात नहीं है. लेकिन मैं हदीस को
ओके
नहीं मानता, ज्यादा पक्का नहीं मानता. हाँ,
ओके.
सुनने में ठीक है, ठीक है, और जवाब भी यही बनता है एसएस को. इसको
Okay,
देना
SS,
इसका पर यही
the
जवाब
point
दे.
is, Rana is of the opinion that Islam has become ritualistic over the time and lost its basic core teachings about the Quran. And now the understanding of Quran and Hadith
नॉट
also
कुरान,
lost.
हदीस. हदीस हदीस के लिए
The
बहुत
people,
सारे गलत रिचुअल्स हैं.
if, people interpret Quran under the under Hadith. That is now a serious
Yeah,
problem
yeah,
of our modern
that's fine.
age. That uh, and I think it's a problem that to understand Quran, Hadith is used.
Hadith, we can say like a Bible. They are kept adding up that Bible, and to be honest, from that era, if you are comparing, like if you compare Bible, if you compare even Hadith, that Sahih Muslim Bukhari, that changes will be like damn front of us. So that's बाबर सिर्फ यही बोलना चाह रहा हूँ. बता भाई.
Okay,
और कुछ
see, even if you just leave Hadith and go to Quran, there is Surah 4, verse 34.
only about hadith. Misogyny exists in Quran as well.
Well, now this thing again can be, interpreted as temporal, and it may be considered no more relevant, like slavery. It is no more relevant. It's not part of society.
No, it doesn't
So
matter. I'm judging it irrespective of time. Beating a woman, I would say if you're a god, you would not say it's okay in any time. Beating your wife.
SS, can I say something here? I just have an idea. Like, you are saying that why your prophet says these kind of monogistic things and all.
No, it's
Am
not
I
about
right?
prophet anymore. I'm talking about
Okay.
Quran now. Surah 4, verse 34.
So what was that?
It says you can beat your wife in specific cases.
Like they are doing crimes and all?
No, if
Did
you
you
fear,
read?
yeah. It says if
Uh-huh.
you fear wrongdoing from your wife, she didn't do
Okay.
anything. You
There
fear she
are
would do something.
there like if you really follows Islam, there are few like punishments in our specifically Islam, but they are not. But we are not following nowadays here. And even though in our whole world, that's why Baba says Islam just change. Like those who are following hadiths, their Islam's kept changing and changing. So
It's about Quran again. Verse
not
Surah 4,
buddy.
verse
Yeah,
34.
yeah. I'm
Surah
just
4, verse 34.
I'm just sorry, SS. I'm not fond to talk about religious politicians, but yeah, just
What is this room about?
I
It isn't
am
about
I
religion.
am yeah I am putting my efforts because of Babar. Like I am about to leave, and that my last point was there are few forbidden things in Islam, specifically mentioned in Quran. Even though it's also about male, not just specifically female. That hadith, sorry, that quote you are talking about in Quran, and I'm sure that there are also a sin related on that guidance. Like they are saying something because if, like, I mean, it's in a situation if he do like zana, it's an
No, no,
obvious in
no,
Islam.
no, no,
Okay,
no. Read this
बाबर
verse.
मैं जा रहा हूँ तो इसको पक्का कर भाई. Like
चल
I'm done.
ठीक है
SS.
यार. Okay कर.
I'm just chill. I'm just having fun. Um, so
चल ठीक है.
yeah, SS. Don't get me wrong, buddy. It's really nice to talk with you, and may God help you. Like, have a nice day.
Okay. Now SS. Let's get to the point.
And guys, can you give
Okay.
me a summary? I don't want to go back and watch all the show right now.
Well, Rana is one of my known, and his friend from Pakistan, and he was, defending Islam, that it has become ritualistic at its Lord's essence and things like that. And but he was arguing that no, there is nothing wrong with the Islam and Quran. You just need a better understanding. So that's
Better
what he was saying.
understanding. Okay. So it's not about Quran, it's about understanding something.
Yeah. You can
And
always say that, something like that about any religion, about anything.
and
The
people
first he
ignore.
rejected hadith.
Oh, okay. I mean that's possible.
And then I gave him Quranic verse, and then he says, it's in specific circumstances, and he won't tell me which circumstances, but he would just say it's in specific circumstances.
Okay.
So that's where we are. Surah 4, verse 34.
Well, you're not going to see them accepting things. They're not going to accept it. The essence, the point I was trying to make is that, the apologist can make all kind of apologies. If you talk to them, they can create any kind of apology. They're ready to defend their beliefs by any means. They can, change the whole structure of logic, the whole structure of anything, but they want to defend their religion. So it's a
even the
That's
fucking
the problem.
things they try to change. You know,
That's the
up doesn't mean up,
problem.
and down doesn't mean down, and left doesn't mean left. They changed the whole lot.
Well, you know what happened in the 12th century? There was a guy named Imam Ghazali. You know, when he studied logic and things like that, and when he found that there are a lot of contradiction between the religious dogmas, Islamic dogmas, and the logic, he, threw out the logic and just accepted the Islam. Even he criticized, philosophers and philosophy. The famous book Tahaffa, a criticism of philosophy. But if you're following a religion, there is quite a probability that you will throw out the logic.
Yeah, like about 100%.
Well,
Jack, could you catch your friend to tell the story?
I did, but he ran away again.
You said that he knows the story, right?
Oh yeah, look, I've got lots of stories, but he keeps running away from me. I went into a room about 2 hours ago, and he stopped talking and he left again. So I'll catch him sooner or later. He'll come in here by accident, and I'll see him come in, and then I'll come in, and you tell him, "Don't run away! Don't run away!"
Oh no, I can't keep anyone by
Well, you can try. You can try.
Uh, I'm not sure about that. So why he's running away?
Look, I heard a good story about 2 days ago, right? And this was amazing. I didn't know. I did know about it, but I forgot about it. But I saw it in a video a few days ago, and I thought, oh, I'm going to remember this story. It was about this Muslim guy, and other Muslims, like, they killed him in the end, right? And I wanted to know why they killed him. And what he did, he tried to make the Quran scientifically accurate. And what he did to make it scientifically accurate, he had to remove all of these verses out of the Quran to make it scientifically accurate. So the other Muslims said you can't remove verses out of the Quran, and that's why they killed him. So even when they tried their best to make it sound better, they still end up killing themselves. And I thought, what an amazing story. And it's a true story too. So you can't win. You can't win. Even if you want to make the book sound better and you start removing things, the Muslims will kill you. So you got to leave it as it is. I think you know that anyway. You're not allowed to change anything out of the Quran.
Okay.
Well, that's a
Anyway.
big problem now because it's
Yeah,
unchangeable.
yeah, well, I should have. I'll have to find the video again, and I want to Google this guy's name because they said his name, right? And it's not a name that I can remember, but I'll find the video and I'll Google the story. But I do remember hearing that story about a year ago, and it just sort of like went, oh yeah, big deal. But you can't win with him. Like, he was trying to do the right thing, and they killed him.
Got it. Anyway, guys, I should leave right now. Thanks for joining. And
All
thanks
right.
for all the people who watched through YouTube. See you tomorrow, I hope.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys. Have a good time.